It's all the stuff that you forget when you're still in vacation mode. Hey, everybody.
Oh shit! Ugh,
See what happens when we forget about vacation? And
damn it! See what happens.
like feels, but it's only really like a week. Um,
I'm still day drinking.
so Tuesday is from the barracks, and we're going to be talking about events today. So
Woo!
I'm Joker for Players Wanted. With me, it's not a party until the Weiner comes out. Weiner from AT Airsoft and
Woo!
Buck. Sid will be
Cheers.
joining us a little bit
Just
later
Buck.
on. He is he's running a little bit late, getting some stuff done after Gen Con and all that, so he'll be on a little bit later on.
Yeah, I lost my tan. I've been inside all day.
Take a week off, not do anything. So I really do find it funny that we were talking like 2 weeks ago that, hey, we're not going to be here. I'm going on vacation. Sin is going to be, it's his birthday, so he's going to be too drunk to do a stream. We'll do it next week. I'm in New York, about to enjoy myself at Hamilton, and my phone blows up. No stream tonight? No, guys, no stream tonight. And then it happened again on Thursday. So, yes, we are back. Thank you all for those that missed us and everything else. But here we are. And oh, look, my food just arrived. I am guilty of this. Yes, you were, Tubbs. Yes, you were. So yeah, one of the things we are going to talk about is some of the top 10 events that you should go to. These will be recurring events that happen every single year, or at least hopefully happen every single year. We're really not going to mention too many events that are gone, because then what's the point of going to them or trying to go to them again? But while we're waiting for Sin to get on and be part of this top 10 list, Mr. Weiner, sir, a little birdie told me that you have an event that is coming up, correct?
Yes, we do. Well, which one do you want me to talk about? Our event, ATE's event, or the events we're going to be going to over the next?
Let's go ahead and talk about your event first.
Oh, my event. Yes. Well, ATAirsoftEvents.com. Go to there. We have we have an event coming up. It's not our first event. It is our actual second event that's going to actually happen, and it will be in Georgia, Perry, Georgia, but not at the Guardian Center. It's one exit south of the Guardian Center at a place called Big Indian Paintball. The owner there, Dwayne, can't remember Dwayne's last name, was so gracious to let us have this field for the weekend. We're going to have a 3-day event starting Friday night. We will have, Friday through Sunday. The format is Friday night. We'll have a special run and gun event that you're not required to be at, but if enough players from each side show up, it'll count as points towards your victory on that Sunday. We do the points total stuff. So Friday night we'll have a run and gun. Saturday morning we'll start off with the event all day Saturday. Saturday night, depending on the response for Friday night, with everybody who shows up Saturday morning, if they want to do it, we'll do another run and gun on Saturday night. And then Sunday will be a continuation of the event. We haven't decided how we're going to do as those Friday night and Saturday nights will be count as Evos. So we're still working on that, but we do have an exciting event set up for you to come out and have a great time. That'll be November 4th, 5th, and 6th in Perry, Georgia, at Big Indian Paintball, one exit south of the Guardian Center. Camping is primitive camping. It is free, but you must sign up for it on the ticket site, atevents.com. We will have vehicles as far as it goes for the event. We're not going to have a lot of vehicles out there because the fields is, even though it's 82 acres, you have a lot of woods and with lots of trails, lots of structures. We have a big city up front, which where the run and gun will be taking place at. We will have our store out there. RC Airsoft will be out there running the store. And let's see what else. Oh, tickets are $115. Get them while they last.
That's not bad price at all.
Not at all.
For a 3-day event. They are up on the website, atevents.com. You'll see them, the tickets, the rule set, the waivers that we must sign. There's 2 waivers, one for AT, one for Big Indian Paintball that must be signed. Any questions, feel free to reach out to us at atevents.com. And Plan on coming out having a great time. Oh, the name of the event. I guess I didn't even name it. The name of the event is Deliverance. And the reason we picked up Deliverance is because it's in Georgia. We'll have some banjo players out there. But it is kind of the woodsy type feel to it. We do have a riverside. There will be plenty of woods, like I said, structures, and be able to spread out and running and gunning. And it's going to be a blast. You're going to have a good time out there. Your CO for the green side is Justin West from Shadow Legion. He will be out there running the green side. And for our tan side, and also Shadow Legion is actually out of Perry, Georgia area. And then for the tan side will be our very own Matt Boyle from Florida. So he'll be up there. I can't remember the name of his team. Do you remember what the name of his guys are normally called? I can't remember that for some strange reason. Without a brain fart. Starts with an R, I think. Remedy? Not Remedy.
Reload?
Reload? Yeah, Team Reload. I believe that's it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. A lot of his guys out there. And he has a couple events we'll talk about later. We're going to be in Florida, the Florida side. But we're always looking for new AOs. This one popped up on us. We've had to put an event together. It'll be when it's not going to be cold, but it's not going to be super hot either. And that's the first weekend in November 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Okay, awesome.
Losers feel like pigs. Yes, you do, Stu. Actually, we're going to make Stu feel like pigs.
Speaking of new AOs, as some of you guys heard the last couple of times I've been on, I've been teasing and talking about a possible new AO coming up in the Northeast sector. The groundwork is being laid right now. So this new field, this new AO might be coming a lot sooner than I thought. So I will keep you guys posted as soon as I have some more information. I will give it your way, but just be aware, you boys making some serious moves on making a new AO for everyone.
Awesome.
Nice. So,
that's
awesome, man.
Also, quick thing, if anybody has any contact information for anybody over there at Ubisoft, please fucking DM me. I need to talk to them, and getting them on the line is impossible. If you got an in, let me know. Please.
All right. So what I'm doing right now is I'm starting to get prepped. Hey, what's up, Rick? How you doing, buddy? I'm starting to get prepped for my top 10 games or top 10 events to go to, right? So I hope everybody else is doing the same thing of trying to come up with like a top 10 list of games to go to. Now, I will say it like this. Of course, now that I'm going through and doing it, I'm like, oh man, that's a good one too. That's a good one also. That's a good one as well. Now, keep in mind,
I'm writing notes down.
I know, right? It's like I'm going through. It's like, my numbering. I started to work on stuff earlier today and all that, and I just been so waylaid with a lot of different things. This all got messed up, but I think I have it right for my numbers at least. All right.
I'm not really the person to be speaking on like current events, because most of the events that I am very well versed in have sadly disappeared, and my soul hurts.
Oh, Stu, nothing like getting chat going right away. All right, while we wait a few more minutes to give Sin a chance to jump on, I'm going to start talking about my vacation. It was much needed. Damien went to his muscular dystrophy camp for the first time in 3 years, which it's 100% free to the parents. So we don't pay a dime to send Damien there, which is kind of cool because he's around other kids that has his same condition and everything else. Now, he was the talk of the place because he was the only one that was there with an action track share. Now, he comes back home and he was like, Dad, everybody else's chairs are faster than mine. I was like, all right, bud. Yeah, but could they go everywhere you could? And he had to pause and think about it. He goes, no, they couldn't, because there's certain areas that they had to go to. And he was taking shortcuts to go ahead. I was like, see, that's the thing. You can go anywhere you wanted to.
Gun mounts on their chairs?
Huh?
Anybody else have gun mounts on their chairs?
No, but evidently two of the volunteers play Airsoft that were helping him out.
Oh, cool.
So that was as soon as he saw it, he goes. He started asking Damien immediately. This is drop off, right? Which we got there. We read the instructions wrong. We thought we were supposed to get there at like at 11:30 was 1:30. So we were the first people there. So we got on the road to start our vacation early. But
Dude.
so they were asking. I know. Man, that is horrible, Stu. Horrible. You know what I think it is? I think he's like pulls up a joke thing off to the side and just starts putting in random ass stuff.
Stu is definitely my favorite of our trolls. Because he's harmless. He doesn't do any damage. He just comes in, hey, insert stupid shit, and then continue on with your day. You get a good chuckle, and then you're not like, man, am I going to have to worry about him showing at some random AO and I'm going to have to kick his ass?
No, we don't have to worry about Stu showing up because he's all the way in California. I don't think he's ever going to come see us on the East Coast.
Stu, you piece of shit.
Language.
Hey, I stopped myself. I didn't finish it.
So the cool thing about it was like Damien got to show off the chair and he had a great time. Now normally they said watch your phone for any emails or anything else. Any emails. If it's serious, we'll call you. And then I was like, cool, bet he's all yours now. Bye. And we took off for New York.
Your problem.
He's your problem now. And everybody's like Star's like worried and everything else is like, what are you worried about? I was like, we have like now a week of freedom that we can go off because we dropped the other child off at my mother's house. So they were both fine. As like, and we were on the road. Now we did stop by the prison on the way up because we had to meet with the guy that's going to be painting the battle bus Fortnite blue, which I didn't realize this, but there is a version of the battle bus that is painted black. I wish I would have known this. I also have a balloon for the top of the bus. And it's a Fortnite battle bus lawn ornament. So it's the full-on battle bus with the balloon. The balloon itself is like 12 feet tall, which is perfect. So then I had to like scrunch all the other excess parts up so it's just the balloon that sticks out. And then we went to go to New York to watch Hamilton, which it's a great show. I like the Disney version better. But one thing that I did not like was the Rogers Theater seating.
Oh,
it is so damn narrow. Now, my wife was smart, and she put us on an aisle. So here's me sitting like screens that way, and the stage is that way, and I'm sitting at an angle with my feet out into the thing. The ushers behind me thought it was hilarious that the entire time I'm essentially got my back to my wife as I'm watching the show.
Try the Hubert Theater. The big Schubert Theater there, the old theater there in New York, Broadway. The Schubert.
Oh, okay.
That thing is, the seats are okay. They're not super narrow because you can sit there comfortably, but the height they go up, so you're basically you can fall over the chairs, and go down. But I've seen two Broadway shows there in the last 5 years.
So when I mean by narrow too, I also don't mean like narrow for your butt. I'm talking about narrow from your knees to the person in front of you.
Yeah, and that's the way most of them are up there.
Yeah, it's oh my god, it was like it was so
Those are the original
tight.
theaters. Those are some of the original theaters there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was funny because we actually had really good seats. We could see everything. It was really good.
You can just about anywhere see good seats.
Yeah, that theater was actually really good for it.
Yeah, but don't fart or anything like that, or
the acoustics is go.
Because the people on stage will stop and look at you and go, huh?
It was kind of funny because I liked the Disney overall. I liked the Disney Plus version of the show because it had all the original.
You could all sit in your own chair and watch it too.
Well, that too. That was like a big plus. But there was like it was kind of cool seeing different actors play the roles. Although the person that played Lafayette, you could not understand his French accent. And they could not sing nearly like him and Angelica and the guy that plays Lafayette did not nearly have the speed cadence of the show there. So that was like the only real negative. But then I made a mistake by staying in the city. I should have known better. But yeah, I ended up spending an extra 70. Well, So,
the
well,
hotel.
the hotel. Well, so the hotel was only like $90. I was like, all right, staying 2 blocks away from the theater in New York City on Times Square probably wasn't a bad thing, right? Except I have a truck. So, and I thought the place had parking because it said parking. Oh, there's parking available across the street, except that one can't accommodate trucks. You had to go 2 blocks over to where the theater
Oh, you're
was.
lucky it was only 2 blocks over, though.
I know, and it was like at least we had it there. So it cost me an extra $80. So that pretty much the hotel room night spent was like
Yeah, just to park your vehicle and walk the rest of it.
$170. What I should have done was what my plan was to stay outside of the city, come into the city for the show, and just park for a few hours.
Yeah,
What's
stay
up,
outside with
Wolfman?
the train, and the train would have been cool going through Penn Station and all that. Yeah,
Yeah,
stayed
well,
outside somewhere and took the
since
train
we
in.
didn't really know the trains all that well, it's been like 5 years since we've been to New York. I was like, you know what, screw it, we'll just do it this way. But it was fun. I mean, we had a good time. Then we decided to go to Niagara Falls.
From there.
No, that's fine. I mean, look, you guys know I love to drive, so it doesn't
Yep.
really affect me much, right?
Which
And
side did you stay on? The Canadian
Huh?
side or
the U.S.
US?
side, we didn't bring our passports.
Niagara Falls
So
sucks.
when we're driving on the way, I asked the wife, "Are we really sure we want to go to Niagara Falls? Because it's only going to be for like a day." And she goes, "What else are we going to do?" I was like, "Good point." So we kept going. So because I live in Florida and I go to the tourist traps of Florida, I usually don't get caught by tourist trap shit, right? I usually am really good about it. Like New York City, we didn't get a single one of those costume characters coming up trying to give us trying to give us like try to do that thing. They took the fact that the way I walked and everything else, I was like,
you were native.
they tried handing me like flyers and shit. I'm just walking right past it, not even acknowledging. Hey, welcome back, Wolfman. How's Sir Weiner doing?
Weiner is doing great.
So we get to Niagara Falls, which, by the way, is gorgeous. It is awe-inspiring. Me personally, I didn't think it was worth the extra 12 hours to the trip, but the wife was happy. That's fine. Now, if we just stopped there and seeing the falls and looking at it and all that, cool. But then we're walking around and we saw Cave of the Wind. Now, both Star and I love caves. So I was like, all right, let's go check that out. So we go up there. As soon as we go to get the tickets to go to the Cave of the Wind, I realized like my tourist trap sense is tingling that we shouldn't probably do this. When I saw it was $20 a person, I said, "Are you really sure you want to do this?" Because I'm like, that's my code for I don't want to. And she goes, yes. So I was like, fine. Stand in line and we get our tickets. So to save everybody else, I'm going to tell you all what the Cave of the Wind is. You go inside. It's almost as if it's like a Disney type effect. You go into it like this little amphitheater where they have all these things talking about how the dam and everything else and all the buildings and all that stuff was done. When they get enough people inside, they then usher you into a theater type room where they play a movie. High production value. They had multiple screens on the sides where stuff gets played everywhere, which is kind of awesome. But it opens up with when Niagara Falls was first opened. It was closed to the public. When they finally opened up to the public, it became a carnival barker heyday. I looked at Star sideways and I was like, motherfucker. So they go through, they explain about the whole thing, how the hydro dam and all that stuff was working and all that. Movie ends, doors open, you go out, you go through a gate, you go to an elevator. You then go downstairs, they hand you a poncho, and you go over and you look at the falls from the underside because they're just coming down. There's no fucking cave.
Nope.
There is no goddamn cave. The thing that was the cave was an outcropping of rock that has since fallen down. There is no cave. You spend $20 to ride an elevator and get wet. That's it. That's all you do. $20 to ride an elevator.
You didn't feel the wind coming through the passageway you were walking through?
There's no passageway, sir. It's all open air.
I got to see the passageway before it collapsed.
It has since collapsed, sir. So there is no more Cave of the Wind.
And they didn't tell you that, huh?
No, I sure as shit wouldn't have
That
gone.
was on the U.S. side. You should go on the Canadian side. You should have brought your passports. You had more fun. I ate at that big restaurant. If you saw the big restaurant that turns, that I ate there before. Of course, the meal cost us for two of us was about $100 some, but it was fun.
Yeah, that's we probably should have brought our passports and gone to Canadian side and experienced it. I mean, it was gorgeous. Don't get me wrong, but as we're driving home, I was bitching about this whole there is no cave.
Oh shit!
It Star's like, whatever, you're making me feel bad. Oh, and then Star attempted to sit in Nicholas Tesla's lap. That was hilarious because she kept falling off. Here.
Oh wait.
If there was a TikTok that I put up to show this.
Was that your TikTok? Hold on. I think I was. I think I saw that. I didn't realize it was Star.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll share the screen.
Yep. That's what I saw. Was that somebody? Because somebody came over to help push her up there.
Yeah, not me.
I know. What you put his knee there or whatever. That's why.
How many tries?
So she already failed twice. Attempt number 3.
My pants are too slippery. I slide down. Here, hold on.
That is not her husband.
I can't swim.
Up on his shoulder.
Thank you very much.
How many tries?
So I just want to point out that
My pants are too slippery.
it really does look like Nicholas Tesla has a penis right there because of how many people that have done the very same thing of climbing up there. For the record, I got up in one try because they said, "Oh, if you're so great, let's see you do it." So that was my trip to Niagara Falls. And as we're on our way home, we're like going through, and I was complaining about it. She goes, "What else could we done? We were in Virginia at the time." I was like, "We could have gone to the crystal caves. We could have saw real caves with real crystals inside." Welcome.
Texted me, and I would have found you some real ones nearby.
Well, I mean, like I said, we never been there before. We saw it. We're good. We left. It was all good. I mean, it really was a great vacation to sit back and just be like, all right, well, we're good now. So, so that was our trip. That was my vacation. Funny, Crystal was her name. God damn it, Stu. So with that being said, we wasted a good 24 minutes on my vacation, the much needed vacation. Sin's still not here. So,
Continue on.
Well, yep. I guess we just go ahead and start rolling right into our list.
Tell Sin he's bad. Everybody say Sin is bad at streaming. He can't even remember his schedule.
No, in his defense, I mean, he was just at Gen Con last weekend, and they have another event he has 2 crews that are going to 2 different events this weekend.
Oof.
So
his fault for not planning this out. Come on.
All the cons are running again. I'm actually going to one in. They say it's Daytona Beach, Comic-Con, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's
it's. I was actually looking at that to see if I was going to go to that. It's in
DeLand.
DeLand, yeah.
Yep, it's in
And
DeLand.
that's,
It's Volusia
September.
County Convention Center, and of course, it's not Daytona Beach. I would have figured they'd do a big one down at Daytona Beach. So apparently, it's going to be a small one, small Comic-Con.
Yeah, I might actually apply to see if they want me there or not.
Well, if you're there, let us know because Donna's going.
Oh, okay.
What's up, Michael?
What's up, Mike? How you doing, buddy? All right, so let's start talking about some of the top 10 events that you should go to. Now, when I start talking about these, I'm going to remind everybody these should be recurring events that are there. They should also be technically in the same spot, even though some people, AT, might be switching up locations for it. But I'm going to go over in the past 2 years, the top 10 events that I've been to. Now, if you haven't been to 10 events,
or all your events have been canceled,
we won't talk too much about that.
We don't talk about Bruno.
we can go through and talk about. Now they can be if you've been to an event like say 2 years ago, and they usually have it as an annual event. By all means, add that to your list. But that's sort of like our criteria for this time. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with my number 10 is actually an ATE event, Aftermath.
Nah.
So, and when you see what's up against this list, you'll understand why AT might be is why AT's.
I'm surprised you made the list, but I'm happy with that. So ATE made the top 10.
Yeah, ATE made top 10.
I have to mark that down. Awesome event, by the way.
Aftermath was an awesome event. The civilians had an awesome ass civilian CO that took them to victory.
Everybody else thought he was a douchebag, but that's okay.
That's fine. We won.
Yeah.
The EXO blew himself up, and we still won.
I was standing there when he did it.
That was one of the funniest things that happened. Was Aftermath? Geez, when the hell was that?
Aftermath, January.
January this year. Right.
It wasn't. It was the weekend before
Martin Luther King. January 15th.
January 15th. Yeah, weekend before Martin Luther King. Yeah.
So now, what I would want to say about Aftermath and everything else, which made it great. Now, when I do my criteria for like the top 10, I go off of AO, the players, and the toxicity of the player base, right? Restrooms, closeness to the center of town, like all the things that pile in together. So, Aftermath was at Wayne's World of Paintball in Ocala, Florida, which is actually a really awesome location to play some light games, right? Because it really can only support like maybe 300 or 400 people. Oh, look who finally decided to show up!
Hey! You can put him back up in his corner. There you go.
Vacation was over, sir. We were supposed to be back on today.
Dude, I do not even want to hear about it. I got 2 crews that had to go out. Half of my house is like my office right now is being relocated and being used as storage for everything else because the entire house is getting swapped. On the way back, guess whose tire went out?
Not mine.
Not mine.
Fuck off.
Nope. This guy.
All right, so this started the top 10. So I dragged it on as long as I could, so you could be here for it. All right, so so I rated on a whole bunch of criteria that comes together. So I'm actually going to be putting a top 5 facilities you need to go to, and it's pretty much the same criteria. So it's the look of the buildings and the structures, the rarity of the games, gameplay potential, movement on the field, proximity to lodging and food, on-site housing and camping, restroom facilities, and the player mentality. All right. Also, I need to put in admin mentality.
Admin mentality is a good thing to add.
That was a definite.
I agree.
So, ATE Airsoft. First and foremost, I mean they bring a lot of professionalism into the events. They bring a shit ton of experience. I mean, Bulldog alone has 100 years in airsoft. So AT collectively, I believe, has run, I would say, almost 60 years of experience with airsoft between all the people they have involved and all that. So they bring a lot of experience. They bring some really good gameplay mechanics. The AO where it was located at, like I said, for Wayne's World, it's a great field for smaller games. Like maybe 300 is like the absolute max you could have on that field.
Are we talking about events or locations?
Event location.
This is events. This is the top 10 events.
Okay. Also, a little known fact: Bulldog was the first person to fire a BB and get hit by one simultaneously.
So the AO that it was on, Wayne's World, it has a nice mix of, they have some CQB areas because they have the structures there. Now the structures, in my opinion, would need a little bit of work. They've been there a while in Florida. with a paintball field as one of the primary ways that they make money there. But they also have some really nice woods ball area, a lot of structures, a lot of themed areas for easy call outs and everything else. The woods yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, the elevation is pretty level. There's some slight, there's a little bit of slight deviation, except for Sinkertown, yeah, which is literally in a sinkhole. I think Sinkertown loses 6 inches every year.
Well, we lost the boat basin, which was even worse. So boat basin went it actually sunk. But they're working on it. They're opening up a new area. They actually are spreading out. They're opening up some new areas out there too. So we'll see. We get out there. I know. I think I heard there was a date open in February. So I have to double check that. Double check that right now.
So, and the player mentality there was absolutely fantastic for the event. I mean, there's always things that you're going to have with players that are there about doing stuff that they shouldn't, like not calling hits or whatever. Nobody's really going to be able to. We're not really going to be able to stop that ever. So the buildings, I would rate them like around a 3 because they've, some of the structures there are great, but some of them are also kind of run down. This field leads to a lot of flanking. There's a lot of areas for you to move around and you can go through and do a lot of cool stuff with. Now the food and all that's there, it's really close to a lot of food, but like you're 5 minutes away from getting anything to get anything to eat or anything else like that. Plus they also give hot dogs you can buy hot dogs and sodas right there out on the field. It's close to a lot of hotels are in the area. So that's good. And then they also allow camping on site as well. And it's a pretty big area for camping. The only thing that is not great there when it comes to that is also the restroom facilities. It's usually porta potties. So me personally, I don't like using porta potties that much. So on a whole, that's my number 10 of events that you should go to. Now, whether or not it's going to be at Wayne's World again is up to the event producers to figure out. But if it doesn't happen, that's fine. The Aftermath game, just the players and the admins and the mentality, the gameplay wise, the control boxes, all the objectives and everything else that they're doing. And the fact that you got to see me run my fat ass all the way down. So excited about getting a bomb. Like here.
You see this guy Hawaiian shirt go flying across the field.
Look, guys, I got it.
Oh no!
No, you didn't. You wait till you see the video.
I got a bomb.
You would think you had a free sticker at the grass.
Next, fat and old, go.
I know when to pass the bomb off. And of course, one of the funniest moments that was out there.
Yo! Drop at Fort Thomas? Right on where? Where? Joker to Reaper.
Go ahead, Joker.
Incoming airdrop.
Take this trail straight forward.
Fort Thomas, right? Right in the center? Yes, I want to drop an airdrop right on Papa 14.
They're right on the trail, too.
Right on this trail?
Right, because there's some
Right on top of Fort Thomas on the control box.
Make it Papa 15 right by that trail. That's a 3-grid strike, right?
Dropped.
Here comes Papa.
I'm gonna drop it.
Papa 15, Fort Thomas.
Do we need to push it?
We're about to drop bombs on it. If that doesn't clear, we need somebody on the radio down there. If that does not clear them all out, I need new grid coordinates, whether it's south or north. Give me some grids. The situation at pocket. Go for Joker.
Just from what Bulldog said, took out some of your own players.
No tan got taken out?
What is that? Oh, I think.
Yep.
North side of Fort Thomas, that is checkpoint Charlie, over.
No checkpoint Charlie over here standing up.
Joker to Reaper.
Go ahead, Joker.
Combat coming in. How do you know?
Because you just killed all of us.
Yeah, it's Fort Thomas. That's where everybody. That's where they said they were at.
The building and everything up that way. That's
The
not
first
Fort
one.
Thomas. The building there. That's not. The buildings are not Fort Thomas. That's where they are.
You are.
We were standing right here.
Oh, Max.
Top of 15.
No. You heard it. They called in Fort Thomas. Papa blew himself up. It was great. So that's my number 10. Hey, Virtue, what is your number 10 for events, sir?
Well, this is gonna be tough. So are we sticking to the U.S.?
Wait, hold on. Here's the criteria because you weren't here. It's events that are recurring every single year, preferably at the same location if possible, so people can easily find it.
That's
If not,
fine, but are we sticking to the U.S.?
Yeah, we're sticking to the U.S. Well, actually, no. You can say wherever you want to because you don't have to stick to the U.S. for this one.
Oh God. Border Wars. So here's Border Wars. If you're not familiar with Border Wars, it's a joint operation Milsim / event that takes place in the Czech Republic, I believe. It takes place in the same place every year at the same training facility that the Czech military uses. But they invite a metric cap ton of airsofters out to this giant 3-way brawl that the military dresses up in OP4 for and rolls out with simulation rounds and blank rounds for their tanks and artillery to engage the players. So the best example of this is one year we were holding on to this cottage basically as a checkpoint when a freaking tank barrel points through the window and tells us to surrender.
Wow.
We surrendered.
I think not only did you surrender, but so did your anus.
Dude, it took my brain a full minute to register what I was looking at because it slowly comes through the window and I look, and I go back to cover my and I went, and you just hear the guy on the speaker. He said something. I couldn't understand it. And that was the other awesome thing is if you had a squad that didn't speak the language, they found at least 2 players that did to run with your squad. So we hear it over the speaker and we all look back at the guy that's with us and he said surrender or else. And everybody's like, we give up. But we go out, there's a bunch of army guys laughing their asses off because we didn't hear them coming up on us because there's artillery fire going on over our head. But the event takes place every year. I think I went, it was Border Wars 2013, so it had to be Border Wars 5. There is good food in the area because it's literally a military town, all around it. The hotels were cheap for the event. I don't know for a fact, but I was told was all the hotels and hospitality have their prices for the event for attendees. Because the event itself brings a lot of money to the town. And it was nuts. I'm trying to see if I can find video footage of Border Wars to give you guys an idea what I'm talking about.
Hey, Weiner.
Yo.
This sounds like a good trifecta trip, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Sounds awesome.
I don't know about you, but my passport's up to date.
My passport's up to date. I'm good to go.
Mine's not.
Mine is.
Yep, mine's up to date.
So when it comes down to board and lodging, everything else, it was a 10. Food. You have actual restaurants, not like we have here where there's a chain restaurants. This is some old lady in the back is making you food.
That's awesome. That's my favorite kind.
The player mentality, because we have players from all over Europe, and as much as I'm going to sound like a douche when I say this, the U.S. attendance was very small, and it made the event awesome. Because there was no, hear me out. You know us, man.
You're right. Nope.
And there, people cared less about the event and more about having a good time, and the sportsmanship was amazing. Like, I took our gunner went down because we got a hold of a technical. That was the other thing. There's technicals that they drop all over the field, and they give you an armband that says you're allowed to drive technicals. So if you find one, it's got fuel. You had to sit. You show up the day before to go through a class, basically. If you find one, it's got fuel. Jump in that sumbitch and go have some fun. So I'm driving the technical. Our gunner gets taken out. I jump on the gun and I start spraying it in this other technical, and I don't think I hit anybody. Like, I really don't think I hit anybody, but they all just got out, put their hands up, and we sat there having a great laugh in the middle of the field because they came over a ridge right as we came over a ridge, and there was a whole pause of both of us looking at each other. It was like a Wile E. Coyote showdown, and then everybody just started shooting. And it was great. Because with the unmarked, unteamed vehicles, you don't know who's in the other vehicle. There's no team color on it. And that's intentional, so you have to do target. You have to do target identification.
Yeah, ask Russia what's happening in Ukraine right now.
Yeah, right. That's wow, man. They're up to Border War 7. So, yeah, I know somebody's messaging me. I know Navi Boy did a video. He was at Border Wars 5, but Navi literally played for 2 hours and left.
Really? Huh.
Oh yeah, dude. He got his staff stayed and played and took footage. All right, here's a good video. Sure.
Navi also was supposed to be at an
Alvarez
event last
mentioned me.
weekend and never showed here in the U.S.
Yep, that place is what, dude. Like, hold on. Share screen window, bam. So this is somebody else's content. It's called VF Airsoft. But to give you an idea, I'm gonna speed through this. This is a team that grabbed some technicals.
Full screen that bitch. Nice.
And there's more technicals. Yeah, that's admin deploying one of the open technicals, quote unquote. But like, this is the crap that randomly occurs.
Yeah,
I don't even know what team this is.
That's still awesome.
Weiner?
So this is the actual in-play area. Yeah. This isn't even staging. I'm trying to find a specific segment of the artillery fire. Yeah, so this is just a video following one squad.
U.S.
Is this the camp raid? I'm not sure if this is the camp raid, but all right, I'm not going to get too balls deep into this. So yeah, it's the camp raid video. So that video, so your team is camping on the AO, you're setting up your tabs and your fobs.
All right,
if you don't want to get it, if you don't want to stay there, you don't have to. You can go to the hotels and come back in the morning. But everybody that's set up out here in the AO understands they can be attacked in the middle of the night. That's why they did it. This setup that they're about to show is hilarious because the team they're going to go attack isn't actually there. They're gone. So they literally tactically clear this entire camp to find out they're gone, and then hear on the radio that the team they're going to hit is hitting their camp on the other side of the AO.
That sounds like something we would do, that I would do.
There's like towns for training purposes there, like full-on towns and all kinds of stuff. And it's an amazing and emergent. The player base is fantastic because I didn't speak the language at all. So when somebody was trying to tell me that I got taken out by a grenade, I would look there. I was like, I'll call hit. And the guy laughs and he goes, and I went, oh, okay, got it. But he wasn't like angry yelling at me, like, dude, I got you with a grenade, you know? They're there more for the fun of it. The admin is, no offense to anybody else I've ever had to deal with. Their admin is definitely 9 out of 10. They have an embed admin system and they have admins on ATVs. At any point in the entire time we were there, if there was an issue, I turned around. The admin was there before I could call for them. They were like the red shirt Gestapo. Like, it was ridiculous. So somebody was using one of those Yakamata mortar tubes. You know what I'm talking about? The ones, the CO2 power ones. By their rules, that counts as blind fire unless you have a spotter. So if you don't have a spotter and you get caught, you're blind firing. We couldn't find the spotter. The rounds kept coming in. They were nowhere near us. So eventually we all got hit and we all sat down and we're waiting out. And the admin rolls up and goes, "Get up." We're like, "Huh?" The guy was definitely blind firing. He's got no spotter. And I was like, "Huh?" And he grabs the binoculars, points at the tree line where the guy is doing it, and goes, "He's right there." And you see another admin walking up behind him looking like the Grim Reaper. So they were on top of things. It was a blast. Getting there is the hassle. The travel to get there is the hassle. But once you're there, I think after everything was said and done, I spent maybe $500 US on everything outside of the event.
Nice.
That's food, drinking, hanging out with the guys. That's the other thing. If you do go to this event, and they have all the camps have weird parties at night, go at your own risk. If you cannot drink, if your idea of a good time is American beer, do not drink with any of these people.
Sounds like my kind of party.
That's weird because all the footage I've seen from those events just shows the woods. No, dude, there's definitely like weird town angles. Like most of the action takes place in the woods. I'm not gonna lie. There was not a lot of people wanting to do CQB clear. There was specifically one team that turned an entire town into a death trap, so everybody just avoided it. Because they had snipers set up, LMG nests set up. There was just no point in going in that direction.
Yeah, but you know me, man.
Oh, you're gonna run through there yelling Kool-Aid, man.
All right.
So yeah, Border Wars takes my number 10 spot. It's down low on my. I had to narrow this way the hell down, but it's down at number 10 because ease of getting to the event. But if you can get there, it is definitely a once in a lifetime experience you do not want to miss.
Nice. Buck, do you have a number 10?
I do not. I only have about 3, sadly, just because all of my events got canceled with COVID or just aged out because fields got shut down. COVID did a number on the North Coast.
Mine would be the one, I guess my number 10, and not because it's just because there's so many I've been to, but the one I went with you on the spur of the moment and flew up to Minnesota
for Colony Wars.
Colony Wars, yes.
Okay, that's my number 6.
Okay, that's my number 10 because so many I've been to over the, since I started doing this back in 2012, 10 years ago. Holy shit! Since I started going traveling, since I hit my first Milsim event and all that good stuff. Actually, my very first Milsim event was 2016. But Colony Wars.
Tim knows how to bribe me.
What's that?
Tim knows how to bribe me.
Yeah. But the Colony Wars was awesome. That was my first event spur of the moment where I flew to go to an event. And no, I shouldn't say that. It was a spur of the moment event. It was a last minute thing to go do it. And I had so much fun there. I had a blast running the field. There was a lot of woods, a lot of I don't know, the camaraderie of the guys, the people, just meeting everybody there was awesome. Just,
Colony Wars was absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
So I'm glad that's on your list too. I kind of figured it might have been because how much you talked about it.
Yep.
So for prospects, Will Pace from Black Ops Bristol,
Black Ops
Airsoft Bristol, Bristol, Wisconsin. He was he brought us up there to help out play Beyond the Blue faction, and the way that they have this set up is they have 4 factions that are on that field, 4 different encampments that you could do. I never saw somebody invest so much money into props for an event that I have with Colony Wars. Now, it really sucks that Colony Wars is the same weekend as Geigerlands this year.
Yeah.
I'll be damn sure next time to make sure it's not scheduled near there because I really want to go to Colony Wars. So we showed up. We were riding on the Humvee from He Who May Not Be Named. Plus, we had my gun truck there. No, wait. No, we didn't.
Do we have your gun truck there? Yeah, I shot the window out.
Oh yeah, we had the gun truck there. I'm sorry, I'm mixing up the Veterans for Airsoft game with that because yeah, we had the gun truck there, and our little force was devastating.
Yes. Those poor kids in the Jeep Cherokee.
What the hell?
Oh my god,
we were lethal out there
Listen,
driving out. Now, yes, I told Weiner, "Hey, watch my mirror." He watched it all right. Then he shot it.
the knucklehead's driving over, but hit the bump, and my finger was on the trigger, and a twink. I did replace it though. I did pay for it.
Actually, wait. Hold on.
You got it there, and I go, "Oh shit."
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna add it as a source here.
Oh god. Oh, sorry. Stu, because you brought it up, I poked it. So last one I went to was Borderlands 5. I'm being told by some of my teammates the village is no longer there. It's been plowed over, made room for an airfield simulation. Is a Border Wars 7.
Oh man.
Hold on, I'm pulling up the clips. I was in the wrong folder. Here we go. Colony Wars. I've only cut 2 clips of this so far. And one of them is definitely this.
Contact right.
Contact right, contact right.
That's my fat ass.
Contact right, contact right.
Have we confirmed what color?
No.
Purple, shoot.
Hopefully the right one. hit.
A nice shot right there.
Yeah, he shot my mirror out.
Hood mother.
It was the mirror. It was a mirror, not a window.
It was the mirror.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, how did you shoot out the window with an airsoft gun? That takes some talent.
Oh, it happened to the Battle Bug at Overwatch 6.
Yep. I didn't do it. That's me.
Sure, Weiner.
I was working. I was an admin.
Do y'all want to make fun of Greg even though he's not here?
Sure, why not? Oh, is this
Is it my favorite clip of Greg ever?
No.
Oh.
It might. It's just funny because I think Weiner knows which one I'm about to show.
Yeah.
At the truck.
There's only Gatorade water. Yep, and I don't think I can reach either one anymore.
Got Mark standing right behind you.
I could reach, but
I know he's got to be
I
self-sufficient.
need a water, please.
That was so much fun. That was a blast there.
So what I really want to stress about
we need Greg to come to an event so I can replace all of his waters with Capri Suns and see if he notices.
leave the short leprechaun alone. So when I say that this guy that Will Pace invests a lot of money, he literally drives around and tosses out like free grenades.
Oh yeah.
Out of the truck as he's driving that you can just pick up and then use. So they did a hell of a lot. They do a hell of a lot of work from that. They build up these encampments where you can camp out safely on the AO. It's double netted. And there's also a buffer zone around the encampments that you can't attack. Now, there are generators and stuff that are nearby that power the encampments that can be taken. And when I say that, we were told, like, I think at 3 different times, hey, Joker, do you mind backing off a little bit? Because we kept going to encampments and just ripping them to pieces. It was an awesome event. It was a hell of a lot of fun. That's why it's my number 6, but it's Weiner's number 10. But I'll give Weiner this credit. He's been to more events than I have, I think.
Yeah.
Although I might be getting close.
You're getting close, yeah.
But
you've been doing those trifectas quite a bit.
Well, I do a lot of events, but yeah, it was Colony Wars was absolutely fantastic. They have a nice CQB field that's already set up there. That's built really nice. Will puts a lot of money into his field. When it comes to outdoor fields, he's in my top 5 outdoor fields you should go to at least once, especially for an event. So, and then we had a blast, man. How many times did we get out and we just wrecked people? Like if you're driving by, you got like 5 kills off to your side alone. Or the time that we got into that one little patch and that one little that one high grass, and then we had trees on the 3 sides of us, and we're facing outward. And then they came in, they had to press us to get the boxes that we were there, and they couldn't get me out of the truck. By the end of it, it really was a fantastic event. The player base there is pretty good. When you want to talk about closeness to lodging, there's hotels across the street. Because that's where we stayed at. The hotels across the street. They also had that bratwurst place, the Brat Stop. So that was also a good place to eat at there. And a lot of stuff right there in the middle. Remember we stopped there?
Yep.
Or are you still thinking about places?
I'm still thinking about places too. I was trying to remember another EMS.
Dude, I lined up all my patches over on the patch wall, so I have a cheat code over here.
Yeah, mine's in my box out in the garage, so I don't have that luxury right now.
All right. So Colony Wars, if you guys have the opportunity to go, I mean, if it's a choice between going to Geigerlands or going to Colony Wars, go to Geigerlands.
Way to self promo.
But hell yeah, I'm gonna self promo.
Well,
by the way,
funny
tickets.
Border Wars 14 is the same weekend as Geigerlands. So Colony Wars and Border Wars.
That's a popular weekend. That sucks. Well, at least that's not going to impact our attendees at our
Yeah.
Colony Wars is definitely affecting it because PJ and them won't be coming to our event. Sin wants some limited passion. All right. So while everybody's generating their list, I'll go on my number 9. My number 9 is Bone Strike. It's a TCA event.
That's that was my number 4.
Hey, again, keep doing your list. We can talk about it. This is what we do with those lists. Sometimes when we say a number, people are like, "Shit, that's great." Then we can talk about why it's there. So, the only reason why Bone Strike is not higher up on my list right now was I had a negative experience with some players there. So the player base ruined the game for me. And it wasn't even like the regular players that would come to a TCA event. I don't know where hell these guys came from that had the Union Jack on, but they were the biggest bunch of goddamn cheaters that I experienced at a TCA event in a long time. So that's like the only thing that really dragged it down. That it should have been higher up on the list. Like we have guys that are taking grenade hits or not taking grenade hits when they get showered with shrapnel. However, with that being said, with that being tossed aside, it's definitely an event that you're going to want to go to because I know TCA is going to be going back to this location. It's the Midgeville Asylum in Midgeville, Georgia.
They're going to call it Bone Crusher, something like that. Changing the name.
They're changing it to Bone Crusher now?
Yeah, I think it's Bone Crusher. Yeah, Bone Strike's done. Bone Crusher's a new one, but it's going to be in Milledgeville, back in Milledgeville next
Okay, so Bone Crusher. All right, if you guys have an opportunity to go here, this place is absolutely insane. For those of you that are in the South that don't want to make the trip all the way up to Pennsylvania to come to the Cresson game, Midgeville's Asylum, it feels very much similar to the Syndicate, where we had the Syndicate games at. The only thing they even have a slight tunnel that goes underneath some of the buildings because of the way the basements are set up. It has a very similar feel. Multiple, and it's not like most of the, it's not like most of the, what do you call it? The prisons where it's like you have very few points in because originally it was designed as an asylum, or at least the portion we were playing at was the asylum side. So you had multiple ingresses from multiple spots. You had ways to go down. You could really flank around and do some stuff. Really, the only thing that ruined that game for me was 2 things. We were having problems with Dylan after Syndicate 1 that almost made us not have Syndicate 2, and the guys that were cheating. And what I mean by cheating, people are like, Joker, just how bad can it be? Oh, you have no idea. Let's see here.
The fight in that long hallway. Holy smoke!
Oh, the fight in the hallway was
we
absolutely
each other in that event?
fantastic.
I can't remember what color. I think it was tan for that.
Well, no, we were green.
We were green. Was I running green for Bone Crusher?
Yeah, you're. Yeah,
it was Bone Strike. The first Bone Strike. Yes, they're at with the church that the guy. You know what? I think I was tan for that event.
Oh, I think you were.
Yep, I think I was tan. I don't think I ever saw that doorway. That's right, because you come from the other side.
This is not even the grenade one. I thought it was the grenade one, but I got it over here.
I didn't even put down. 1, 2, 3,
I'm gonna stop
4,
this
5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I got one more. I didn't do John Lee.
This is the one I think I was gonna talk about.
Serious, okay.
Yeah, this is it.
Oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, there's a couple of guys called, and then they got that one guy. I remember that. This dude here. That dude right there.
You guys fucking still shoot me right here.
You gotta take a knee, take a knee.
Nope, they're dead.
They're
Man.
all dead. So.
Except the guy behind the wall doesn't call.
I'm taking a knee. I'm gonna take a knee right here.
Yeah, just take
Um,
a knee.
That guy right there. You see the grenade? That one did.
How are you alive? The grenade went off right behind you, man. Yes, it did.
Bro, what are
You're a fucking cheater, dude. Fucking A. And lucky.
I remember that dude. I remember that dude.
What I love is,
Yep, he's dead. Yep.
he showered with BBs, right?
Yep.
And what I loved was the tan guy that was standing next to me is even saying, "You're dead, dude. You're dead." And the guy didn't want to call his hit.
Yep.
What a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
that good dude was a problem. Okay, and he was on my team, not my team directly, but he was on the side I was playing on. Yeah, I remember him.
These guys, they all wore the Union Jack, and they were the biggest ones that we had problems with of trying to do it. Like at the very
Excuse
end
me,
of the
sir. It's only called the Union Jack when it's aboard ship. Thank you.
whatever the British flag, okay.
They just wanted revenge for a tea party we threw a while back.
And it was really funny because I mean, and it had a potential to be for me to be a really awesome game because this was let's see here. This is the one at the very end of the second Evo. I was last man standing inside of the gym. There was no objective in the gym. I was just the last man alive against 25-30 tan that decided to say, screw it, we're going to take it.
Oh, come on, man.
Was it the same guys, wasn't it?
Come on, man.
Yeah, same guys.
You clearly didn't get through his flashlight shield.
I mean, you can see him wincing and he's still fucking shooting. So that's why I was like, I ain't playing this crap.
I like that. You're still going.
I shot you 3 times, man.
You shot me once.
I shot you 3 times in your plate carrot, but that's okay because I got it on camera. I'm dead, guys. I'm dead.
Now, that's when the camera itself died. but there was guys that knew me that were in that group. That as soon as I said I got that on camera, somebody goes, "Joker, that you?" And I said, "Yup." And then the guy really started getting jolly with me because I clearly shot him. He knows he never should have been in that. He got shot when he came through the door. You know, no, I don't think they were GMR. But he's like, "I shot you in the face." Actually, you didn't. If you actually look at the video, I slowed it down. He got me in my side. He never got anywhere near my face. But it was fine. So then he goes, "You want to go?" And I had dropped I mean, my gun's obviously my gun's on a harness, but I was like, I dropped my gun, and it was the first time I actually contemplated swinging. At that point in time, I was like, you know what, I need to leave. So, but going past the negativity, the AO is fantastic. TCA runs a really great game. They had a lot of great objectives. Or for that, now they were limited to size, but also the AO itself was shrunk down for the limited player count. So if you want a really awesome AO to go to that has really great corners, really great location, check out Bone Strike or Bone Crusher now.
Yep,
Sorry, Bone Crusher.
Yep. Yeah, because we
It'll
lost.
probably be
Where was it? Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. Not Jackson. What is it? Was it Jackson, Mississippi? Not Jackson. It was Vicksburg.
Fort Shelby.
Vicksburg. That's the one
Vicksburg.
that went away. Yeah, we lost I guess they finally leveled the hospital there.
Okay.
Vicksburg. So it's not a lot, but they kept it up and moved that series to Milledgeville.
Okay. So it really is a great one, great location. TCA runs a really great game. They bring a lot of stuff out. So the vending was there. It was really close to the center of town, so you didn't have to go far to get food. Like 10 minutes, I think, was the longest drive you really had to do to get anything besides fast food. The camping was the only thing that was really a problem. There wasn't a lot of place to park and camp. In fact, somebody, Weiner, had to move his truck.
Oh, yes, I did. But I was one of the few who wasn't in really that bad of a spot. The guys who parked on top of the church, and then the knucklehead who walked into the church while the service was going on in full gear. You want to see what was going on, why we had to move the vehicles. So he walks up in full kit and walked inside the door of the church.
Oh, I'm sure the church was not happy about that.
Oh, sheriff showed up again. Yeah.
Really awesome location. Check it out.
Yep.
Sid, what's your number 9?
So, sorry. Number 9, I'm gonna have to go with Operation Irene. It's part of Lion Claw.
Yep, at Guardian Center.
Yeah. My problem is like two of these are at fucking Guardian Center.
Yeah, I know. Guardian Center is an awesome. We probably just talked about the AO.
Yeah.
Well, mine are at Guardian Center too, so that's good.
Yeah, so Guardian Center is a great AO.
Me too.
Things are close-ish. I mean, they're not as far away as some places to go get food or anything like that.
Hotels.
Yeah, so like, does the cops just show up to Weiner's house or something?
No, I got TV on over here, so you see him flashing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought we were having a repeat of what you doing in my truck. But like, so the AO is great. Every time I play there, I find something new I didn't know was there. I find a new spot that I can camp in. I find a new path or a trail or just a sight line that I completely missed last time I played there. And sorry, everybody froze on my screen. The AO is a blast. It's a well-maintained facility. At Irene, at least when I went, the admin was on point. They did their jobs. There was no ambiguity in any roll calls. There was a moment where, in retrospect, I admit me and the other guy were both wrong. And the admin literally looked at this is well after I realized that, yeah, we both screwed up. But at the time, I was heated. I was in argument because I clearly lit this guy up, and he blew off the shots. He blew off the grenade. And I was wrong. I got heated about it because he was shrugging off everybody's shots. I put my gun down. I took off my gloves, and I politely walked up to him and asked him if he needed a tampon, if he was having a bad day. I use big words to make people feel dumb sometimes. Because I'd rather make you cry that way than knocking you out. I don't want to get arrested. The admin pulled us aside, pulled us off the field. We had to go sit out for 2 hours to cool down, and that because I felt like I did nothing wrong. But like once I got done, I was sitting. I was like, yeah, I fucked up. I should have done it. I should have kept going. But the fact that those reps literally are some of the most unbiased when it came to making calls. Like I watched his brother out on crap. Like because I looked at the player and I looked at the admin, and they looked alike. They're twins, and he literally pulled his brother out and called his brother in and sent him back. The sportsmanship there for Irene, at least, 1 or 2 idiots out of everybody that showed up. And even they actually had sportsmanlike conduct. It's just they didn't realize they were being idiots at the time. Because later on throughout the event, I ran into that guy again, and he was a sweetheart. He apologized. He's like, I didn't feel it. I didn't hear it. I shouldn't have been yelling at you. I was like, I shouldn't have been yelling at you. My only downside to that is for a while there was just way too many large events there. Like it got to the point where it felt like I was going to a normal field for day events because I spent so much time there.
Oh, at the Guardian Center?
Yeah. I mean, it was a good time, but Irene itself was just a blast. Irene was a blast. Like we went out there with good guys and hung out.
A lot of veteran players. So that's where I took Freddie out a couple times by myself.
Yeah, like I was saying, like it's a great facility and it's kind of the out of way for certain parts of the country, and they don't have any small events there, man. Like there's no small scale event that happens at Guardian Center
because of the cost. The cost is so
because
high.
of the cost.
It's
but so go there, yeah.
Yeah, but people want to go, but it kind of takes it. That's why it's so low on my list, is because it takes out. I want to tell you, if you get a chance, go. Absolutely go. But I feel weird because a lot of people can't afford to
have another Irene there, though.
Last I heard was it's up in the air still.
Yeah, that's what he wasn't sure.
I mean, Irene.
Yeah, last I heard it was
when he does Irene. He's going to have to, because the tickets cost is going to be much higher. And that's the thing that we're going to talk about when we talk about all the events that happen at Guardian Center.
Yeah, because
ticket costs are a lot higher, but it also takes another different level of staff to be there. Not players, staff.
Yeah,
because
both.
If you've never been to Guardian Center, well, the higher ticket price is already going to cause a different player base to go. That's what happens almost every single time they have a Guardian Center event, is that it's a much different type of player that goes to those events because the ticket price is typically about $100 higher than what people are used to paying for events. But you also need a much higher level of an admin to be able to.
September.
You need to be. So the thing that's weird for admin there that you. Can I go now? That's
here's the problem.
What you're saying is literally the reason why it's so. Am I?
A little bit.
I have nothing.
Yeah,
going on.
If you're on Wi-Fi, you're only on 2 bars.
I have over a terabyte up. I am on my full thing. I have no idea what's going on right now. I'm not on Wi-Fi. I'm hardline.
You have something that's definitely slowing down your internet pack, I think, because your connection on Restream is 5 at 10.
There's a Windows update pending. Yay.
So it sounds like something's going to.
Yeah.
So
all right. Did that fix anything?
You're still a little laggy. You're still jumping around a little bit.
Holy shit! Never mind. I know what it is. I have every single Chrome tab open for work that can possibly exist.
So, but we'll talk about this more when we talk about more of the other events that are out there. So,
yeah.
So,
yes, it's number 9 on my list because of cost. but it's a great event if you could afford to go.
All right, we're passing up Buck because he's only going to be in the last 3.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. All of my events, they're gone. COVID really curb stomped all the little guys making events up here in the north.
Wow, Stu. All right, Weiner, what's your number 9?
My number 9. Well, it'll be a John Lou event. And unfortunately, it's not going to be there anymore, but Reckland Seige. The one you couldn't go to.
Damn, what happened to Weiner?
Savage.
I know. I thought that was. I ran as Dark Horse 6 there with Dark Horse 6 for the first time at any event. It was Reckland Seige. It was in a mall, but it wasn't in the whole mall. It was only in one, like the Macy's, a 3-story Macy's, storage parking garage down below, all the way up to the top floor, all the way up above and everything. And it was, I was running as the third faction, and that was probably the most fun I had running. Unfortunately, they're not going to be back there, but I know that John Lou is looking for more malls to have the same type of event, in a mall on the East Coast of the United States, not out in California or Arizona or wherever he finds another mall at. So I know he's working on one for over here for us, but John Lou, Lions Claw events. That's a different type of event altogether too, because it's not like a TCA or an AMS or a Milsim West event. It's just John Lou, and he gets these awesome AOs and puts on events there with the local groups. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Yeah, local.
He gets he makes a local chief of staff.
Yep.
He gets a local chief of staff.
I have fun. It's a different type thing I go to. I enjoy going to every one of his events, but that one there would be my number 9. Would be the Reckland Seige, only because Mark couldn't go. It was a one and done.
Yeah, that I was supposed to go the very next week.
On the Reckland too. Yep.
The very next week.
But unfortunately, we had one player whine about it to the wrong person, and the city shut it down.
Yeah, that sucks hard one.
Yep.
It was kind of bad. So, all right. So Reckland Seige, can't talk more about that because bam. All right. Number 8. My number 8 is Wasteland. It's an ongoing series down here in Florida. It's a post-apocalyptic Fallout themed event that is done at, again, Wayne's World of Paintball. And the Wayne's World theme works so well with Wasteland. So for those of you that are coming to Geigerlands, or those of you that are still on the fence about coming to Geigerlands, it's very similar gameplay. You have a lot of role play elements, limited ammo, and stuff like that. So it actually is really fantastic with what happens out on that field. There's like Toucan didn't even fire a shot at the last 2 Wastelands. Instead, he had people like me and Marley being his bodyguards. We did all the shooting. There was a lot of who's on our side, who's not on our side. Back in 2020, I did the big thing where I had probably my highest kill count, which was at a Wasteland event, because the order came over the radio, execute order 66. So if you weren't wearing a Hawaiian shirt, you were dead, or you were dead to me, and I was going to shoot you. And I just went through and just started eliminating everybody I possibly saw. It really leads to some really awesome interactions. Like they have super mutants there that you have to hit a little pie plate. They have power armor there, and some of the costuming and stuff that they do for that event is absolutely fantastic. You have your own rule sets as well. Cool props that you can manipulate. Then you have people that are bartering you with stuff that they just found on the ground.
The costumes they wear too, though, for out there is awesome.
Yeah, it was really fantastic. I loved it. It's an event that goes on at Wayne's World. It's put on by MindGame Productions. And Mac does majority of stuff. He's been on the show before, so a lot of you regulars have seen him on here. He does a lot of these role play style games that are a little bit less shooty, more interactive, which is a nice breath of fresh air when it comes down to the gameplay and stuff like that. Sin, what's your number 8?
BB Wars in Dallas, Texas. takes place at D14 every year. Obviously, like everything's right there around D14. So you got all your food, you got all your lodgings, you need to go. The key selling point of this event is consequences matter, and it makes every player feel like they're a part of the outcome of the game. You capture objectives, you can capture intel that actually will let you know where enemy squads are for a brief moment, as admin call it in. Artillery strikes, vehicle support. Like, one of the best moments of that game was we spent 30 minutes sieging this building just to get these guys out of it. We cleared it. We didn't actually need the building. What we needed was to get past it. Well, we search the building, we find a suitcase, pop it open. We've got artillery strikes that the other team completely missed because they didn't search the building. Then proceeded to use said artillery strikes to plow our way to the objective. But they mattered. And what they were doing, and I think they're still doing it, is at the end of the game, we still had – put that away. You still had artillery strikes left. We still had air support left. It carries over to the next year. Because the whole thing is you're slowly retaking the United States is what you're fighting over. So each year, objectives and terrain that's captured counts. But everybody
I meant
that
to say
came
that
out,
same
whether
thing
they-
for Wasteland.
Yeah, so with the younger kids and the older kids, you guys have been playing long enough. That feeling that what you're doing actually has a purpose other than racking up a body count makes a difference in gameplay. It makes it feel way less than TDM on a large scale. And they have captured that in essence, and it's a great game. The staff there, it's run primarily by Airsoft GI. Is one of the sponsors, and a lot of the staff there is employees of Airsoft GI. So the admin is sometimes in the way because they are so involved in making sure everything runs smoothly. So you'll be in a firefight and realize you've been blasting a guy in an admin vest without realizing it. But they're on top of it. They have a no tolerance policy on almost everything. I think it's a bit obsessive, but after watching it be put into effect, it works. You got a guy not calling hits, admin literally grabs him, you go to respawn. There's no question, there's no debate, there's no he's go to respawn. If you argue with them, they tell you to step out of the game. And they keep moving. Which, from the outside looking in, I thought was obsessive until there's a guy literally shrugging off shots like he was a freaking juggernaut. And the ref, because they didn't want to interrupt the flow of gameplay. They didn't want to affect this one guy screwing up his team or our team in this one area we're pushing in, which I love. Bathroom facilities there are kind of awesome.
Hi, James.
Hi, Facebook.
That's James Barnett. Sorry.
Okay. But the whole BV Wars, this thing they tried to do, they actually succeeded in well with creating a sort of world conflict environment that happens once a year. But everybody shows up. Everybody gets ridiculously in character about their factions to the point I want to call them all extreme LARPers. But the environment, the sportsmanship, the reps, the field, the terrain, the features, they could always use a bit more terrain. I always feel that about every outdoor field I go to. I was like, yeah, you guys could definitely use some more terrain around here. But they don't have a lack of it, is what I really want to say. There's places to hide, there's places to climb. Like, you can have a blast. There's one guy that literally brought a lawn chair and said he was going to go to his spot, and the rest of his team knew where he was going. I had no idea. But apparently every year this guy goes to the same spot and causes havoc.
All right. So, Weiner.
Yes.
What is your number 8, sir?
My number 8 would be. Oh, crap. Hold on a second here. Shoot. So you already mentioned, Milledgeville was my number 8.
Okay. So then we can skip right along then.
Skip along. Yes, we can.
Right.
I've got a couple other. Most of my events are going to be TCA events, and there's this other.
And that's fine.
There's
when it
another
comes down to
obscure team in there, another obscure event holder in there that I'll mention a little bit because they're a little higher up the level.
All right. So my number 7 is Bad Blood. So I know I just screwed up Buck because that's probably his number 2.
His number 2.
And I think that's probably Virtue's number 5?
Yep.
Number one, just for you.
Well, Bad Blood is an annual event it's run by, it's an actual charity event by Evike. It's run at EMR Event Park up in New Milford, Pennsylvania. The only reason why this one is lower down on my list is because of how far it is from any semblance of housing and food. So you are a goodly distance away if you don't happen to get the hotels that are right there, which is the Blue Ridge Hotel or the bed and breakfast that's right there. If you don't get those two places, nope, you're going 25, 30 minutes away. And then to go to any sort of decent food is the same sort of thing. So Bad Blood is 5 different armies fighting against themselves. 4-player armies, so it's green, solid tan, multicam, and black. So it's the Marxist, the green, Deus Ex, and black shirts. And then you have the tribals, which is the NPC factions that guards these samples that people are trying to get stamps like Ebola samples. So EMR is a huge field. I want to say that the area we play on is around 70 acres. The area that we play on,
it's about.
I think it's only 7.
Nope.
I think the overall
next year we're probably going to be looking at about 70 acres if we actually cut out a good portion of what we were planning on and what we discussed in the admin discussion. But as of right now, last I knew, we were playing on about almost 90% of the property. So we're still sitting at about 100 plus acres.
It's a huge place. Now, the cool thing, I've talked about this field quite a few times. You have multiple different fields for this field. So they, like in the grassy area where the helicopter's down, you have almost like chest high grass that grows if Tim doesn't mow it. In other words, Papa will be
Tim,
like just going through.
Tim, stop. We love you.
You have the pine tree forest, which is just rows of pine trees that are almost perfectly lined up that you can play in. Then you have the maple forest. Then you have you have 2 castles. You have Tipman Town, which is a wide open field with a bunch of CQB-esque field. You have the ravine. You have those forests down there. You have all sorts of cool areas that you could really play at on this field. It's only a $50 ticket to play, and the amount of freaking giveaways, the raffles, is unbelievable. I mean, 23 guns this year is how many we're giving away. So if you win one gun by far, win one gun, and you've paid for almost your entire trip. So, and it's not like they bring crap guns to raffle off either. I mean, I got that Crytek P90 is what I won. So
I got a
GTP9
really one year when they first came out.
Nice. So it's they also have unique ways. There is no medic rule. You get hit, you walk back to your triage or your spawn, and you just get rezzed up after every 10 minutes. So every 10 minutes at the start of the hour. So 1 o'clock, 1:10, 1:20, 1:30, 1:40, 2 o'clock. Or 1:50, 2 o'clock. So every 10 minutes there's a mass respawn.
Unless you are running with tribals, which we get mobile respawn.
Yeah, tribals can just go off to the side. I'm respawning.
I make sure that my guys are actually like sitting there with like a timer, and I'll count them out. I'm like, if you try to walk off before I finish this timer, I will shoot you myself and we'll start again. Because I've done that because my team was like, oh, we're tribals, we can just respawn. And I was like, nope, bang.
I saw it. I saw it. You talked Tyler into existence.
So Bad Blood is really an awesome experience. A lot of good things there that you can play there. Saturday is the main game set. There's usually a game Friday night, and then Sunday is the zombie game, which is one of my favorite modes of play because I get to run straight forward into a bunch of people and just like.
It's because he's a masochist.
Bad Blood was this year by far was pretty awesome. We did have a lot of we did have a lot of heat casualties this year. So because of all the heat cats, I put my gun down and I took off all my mags and everything else. I was like, because it always happened near me. I was always the one dealing with it. I was like, screw this. I'm just gonna run my knife because I'm probably gonna be in the rear yelling at people to go. Yeah. On camera, I got 53 knife kills.
I also dropped my gun about, I want to say like 1 o'clock, and my guys and I walked off the field to like go get water because we all ran out because there was so much heat throughout the day. We had all emptied our bladders, so we freaking went out, chugged 2 or 3 bottles of water each, dropped our main kits, went down to knives and pistols, and went absolutely wild.
I was able to lay hands on 2 of the COs, 2 of them.
And an embed. Let's not forget about poor mom. Kill him! Kill him!
Kill him! Kill him! That was still hilarious because you actually say, Joker, what do you do? Oh, shit. Because I walked over and knifed the one guy. He goes, oh, shit. I have such a disarming walk when I go through. It was... Yeah. Oh, let's play that one because that one is freaking hilarious.
Next year, you're just gonna see me skipping, just fucking old like 20s. Skip.
Where is it? Here we go.
Like, hey guys, what are you shooting at?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he just said that. Yeah, just in case.
What are you doing here?
Kill him! Kill him! Kill him!
I hit him. Joker scared the living shit out of us. I got you, low.
Never let him. Make sure he's dead before you walk with him anyway. No, never touch Joker.
I didn't even know.
You're dead.
Mom's got to learn dead man tell no tales. I'll say that.
That was fine. That was literally fine. I did not expect to live when I saw the other 2 guys off to the side. After I knifed Mom, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get shot regardless. Chuck, I mean, my knife throws were on point all weekend long. I just got to say. So yeah, it was a really awesome event. It was a hell of a lot of fun. I highly recommend if you guys can make it up there, make the trip. It's worth it. It's in the summertime every single year, usually first, second week of June at EMR Event Park. Always check out evike.com and check out Bad Blood East 2023.
It is always the last week of June.
Weiner, what's your number 7?
My number 7 would be 7. Crap would be the TCA event Serious Viking when they did it at
that's my number 2.
Yeah, so that's coming up again here. It's going to be at the Guardian Center, but prior to that we played it crap, I think it was the first one, GTI. Well, I know that GTI, but there was one before that, one of the first TCA events went to, which was Serious Viking or was it Stonebreaker? Crap,
Stonebreaker. You think
it's Stonebreaker. Okay, so I don't need to put Serious Viking. I need to put Stonebreaker there. Stonebreaker as a series itself, and then I played it at the very first one was actually my 3rd event or something. Was my first TCA event that I ever went to. Was in Darlington, South Carolina. It was up in Darlington. It was a factory up there, and they moved it. And they tend to stay with the factory theme or something like that.
I'll continue on that because now, like, I think Stonebreaker is always going to be at GTI.
GTI now, yes.
And there's also I combine. Well, Iron Dagger is different. I didn't go to Iron Dagger.
That's a continuous event.
I think it replaces Iron Fury, which is what I was going to say. Stonebreaker / Iron Fury.
Oh, is Iron Dagger replacing Iron Fury? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I think it might be because
Iron Fury was on the same line, but I think they changed it. May have changed up to Iron Dagger. I'm not sure. All I know is any of the TCA events. I mean, they're like my 2, 3, and 4 up there for their events, but one is I'll wait till I get to that point because I'll tell you which one it is. So
Stonebreaker, it's at GTI. Government
Yes.
Training Institute in Barnwell, South Carolina.
Like Stonebreaker?
It's an
Yeah.
old,
Yes.
yeah. It is a old nuclear reclamation facility that was shut down because they found a crack inside the containment tanks. So
And
instead of
it was
fixing it,
never even used. It never even made it to being used. They found
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it was never used. It was never used as a nuclear containment facility. It was set to be used, but that's when they found the cracks and couldn't use it. That's what happened.
And
That's
they moved the
why
facility 5 miles down the road.
That's correct. And rebuilt a whole new facility and everything. That's why everything still looks new inside the buildings. For the longest time. So when first time I was there was for an EMS event, I think.
So this one is actually, if you're talking about Stonebreaker, that's like I have Stonebreaker, Iron Fury as or Stonebreaker and Iron Fury as well as that's my number 3.
Yep.
But my God, the facility is absolutely fantastic with all the buildings they have there. So you have 5 or 6 major buildings that you could fight in. Some of which are connected underneath by some tunnels and stuff like that. You have a really good ease of flow of bodies and everything else. Now, Iron Fury, we had a problem because where green respawn was set up, it was set up outside the wire, and it was really easy to cause choke points, especially to see you later, Tubbs, especially when it relates to the vehicles trying to come in. And there was a couple of people, of course, not calling hits, but the overall location there is absolutely fantastic. You should always go there at least once to GTI to experience it. There's so many cool buildings that you can check out, go through, and explore. There's like 2 buildings. Yeah, that's one of the ones where you definitely want to fly in a helicopter because a lot of the fight happens outside of the buildings. As somebody who's taken 4 different helicopter rides, some events are good, some events are bad. Events where people are out in the open and you can take them out, awesome. Events where everybody's inside and you can't shoot anybody, kind of sucks. But GTI is a great facility because of how many firefights you can have. There are certain rooms and certain buildings that have like certain kill holes and stuff like that. It really is an awesome place to go to. So moving right along, we're going to skip my number 6 because that was Colony Wars. And then we're going to go to my number 5. Well, I guess what's your number 6 there, Virtue?
You guys just literally spent the last couple minutes talking about Stonebreaker, so I'm going to wait and move on.
Well,
that was Stonebreaker.
That we are. Oh, it's Stonebreaker?
Yeah.
Well, shit. All right. What was your number 6 then, Weiner?
I'm going to go with Big House. Big House Milsim.
Big House?
Big House Milsim up in central Pennsylvania.
All right, we're going to stop you there because that's my number 1, and we're going to talk about that one later.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. That's fine. No problem. I just know, as long as I can throw some stuff in there too with Big House. So you want me to move up?
I'll go to number 5.
Go to number 5?
I actually have a number 5 because I realized I forgot about 2 events.
All right, great. So my number 5 is Ironhorse. Is the Ironhorse events that
you suck.
that
You
AMS
suck.
have?
You suck.
You suck. Is that your number 1?
That's my number 1 because that's my very first. That was my very first Milsim event. But go ahead, you can talk about it. That's good.
The takeaway from this whole thing, guys, is literally we have so many things that we're connecting here. Is there's a lot of great events, and trust me, if all 4 of us are going, God, you should probably go to that event.
We've been to the
bastard. That was mine.
I think AMS put on Ironhorse. I went to Ironhorse before you were even thinking about doing Milsim events. 2016.
Okay.
February 2016.
So they must have skipped a couple years then.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Oh no, they had the Ironhorse 1, 2, 3. The Ironhorse.
I was at Ironhorse 3.
What
are you talking about?
So that was 2018, wasn't it?
No, that was Ironhorse 3 was 20.
Oh no, that's correct because it was shut down. The facility was shut down to the public. It was shut down to Milsim.
2021.
Yep.
Ironhorse. Ironhorse 3 was January 9th, 2021.
Yeah.
It was 20 degrees outside.
Yep. I was there.
And I was there too. It was also really funny because in the age of COVID, they loaded 70 of us
Yeah.
inside of freaking
U-Haul?
U-Hauls, taking us back to our
Everyone just became a robot for me.
Yeah. Hold on.
Also, hi, Easy Joe. Hope you're doing well. We're currently experiencing technical difficulties. Yeah. Nope, you're definitely not.
You just became a watercolor painting.
He became pixel art for a second for me.
I have no idea what's going on right now.
Your audio is coming in better, but your video is coming in.
Like,
am I the only one that's coming in like actually clear right now? That's very funny.
All right, Buck, entertain everybody.
I guess I'll talk about my number 5 while everybody's going for that. My number 5 has to go to Blood Money. It was Capital Combat Zone's very first event. Jesus, please, why are you leaving me alone like this?
I don't know what the hell just happened.
Everybody died, so I assume it's just going to be us for a couple minutes.
That was like weird. I wonder if like maybe Comcast had a big surge hit or something.
I have no idea.
Yeah, because Sin went to nothing, and then Weiner went down to nothing. You're frozen for me.
Everybody else says I'm doing fine, so I assume that's your end.
I
hope.
Live with that.
Maybe.
I don't see
I don't know. Anyway, while they're loading in again, I guess I'll just continue. My number 5 was Blood Money for hosted at Capital Combat Zone. It was a bit of a rough event. They're planning on doing it again next year, apparently, with a little bit better. But this was their very first event as like an AO, because they've only been doing open plays for a very, very long time. They're a bit of a mix between paintball and airsoft, so I assume they're probably going to clear some things up, make some things a little bit cleaner. Nice Weiner hat, Weiner. I like it. A1, A+. Joker's still dealing with some technical difficulties, and I assume Virtue's coming back in a minute or two. So yeah, definitely, if you guys get a chance to, it's not a bad event. Not a bad event to head out to if you're fresh into Airsoft. It's definitely a good one to go and check out. Trying to keep a straight face. I'm gonna go get some tacos. I'll be back.
Why not a hot dog?
Not busting my ass. It's just a Mexican version of a hot dog.
So, Ironhorse, while it was cold as hell, it was pretty damn cold for all it was. On a whole, the only reason why this one's not higher on my list, honestly, was because of
I was tight on my head. I had to take it off. It was a little too tight.
There wasn't as many staff. There was only 3 staff that I saw the entire.
What you're Ironhorse thing? Yes, yeah, that was. Yep.
And for me, that was problematic, in a sense that we
did
had
a lot
some
of
issues
with that one.
Yeah, that was the other thing. The spawns if
Poor Bulldog.
you were all the way inside of like say the like for us like costs if we were we were on the same team at that time.
Yeah. Front line.
Yeah, like me, I was all the way inside the subway station.
Yep.
And I got killed and I had to walk all the way out.
Yep.
It's a mile walk.
Yep. I think I got 12 miles that day just walking around.
I got
Poor
more than that,
Bulldog.
sir.
Poor Bulldog did a freaking yeah, I remember you knifing everybody.
Yeah, that was
the woods there over by the C40, the C47. Yeah, the C47.
C140. Yeah, the one that was still up that because they still had it on the road. That was still some of my most favorite times of knife killing because I mean I did this. I just started playing with Dark Horse 6, so I wasn't tight with them yet. But the funny thing is like if I'm at a location like this, I'm not going to stop moving. I'm going to keep doing what I do is just keep going. And it was like one of my first wake up calls.
You got Lone Wolf, the thing called Lone Wolf?
No, that was at Mayhem Mill.
Oh, Mayhem Mill. Okay.
And the other reason why Mayhem Mill's not on the list is because there's no more Mayhem Mills.
Yeah, I know
the mill's gone.
We're gonna be back at Firestorm. It's gonna be First Strike.
But that was like the first eye opener I had that I had to listen to other people's tactics because my team and my team and I's mentality is just to keep moving forward.
And they move as a team together. But I love Dark Horse. Yeah, actually, Augie and I played all day on Sunday together. We stayed together on Sunday.
Yeah, but me, I don't move until I keep moving until I told to stop.
Right.
And I'll always be the person that.
Oh, I know. We saw that at Colony Wars.
Why are we not stopping? Why do we need to stop?
Yeah, no, let's keep moving.
Target that way.
I was in the back with the guy who kept stopping. He kept ducking down. You heard guys through the woods, and then we kept giving our position away. I said, "No, we'll move."
What's up, Ron? How you doing?
There he is. There's my other partner, my other work partner.
So there we go.
There you go. Sitting back. I actually changed to 5G instead of the 2G I was on. So that may have caused problems.
So Guardian Center is a great facility. AMS was also a really good event. I mean, the Ironhorse series was really a lot of fun. The camaraderie there and everything else. And because Guardian Center, we said before, it increases the players that are there because you're spending a hell of a lot more money at the station.
The type of player is a little different. You know, you get some of mommy and daddy money there, but majority of the players are there to play. What's the word? Play and the camaraderie. I guess that's
have a great experience.
Great experience. I mean, that's like when I went to Irene, the first Irene I went to. I went by myself because Bulldog couldn't go. He was busy getting a hip replaced or something. And I went and hung out ran with Junkies actually there at the event and had a blast. And that's where, because I wasn't affiliated with the team at that point anywhere. So it had a blast. But that whole facility was just, I love the tunnel. I love being in the tunnel of the subway. That's like my favorite spot. All the buildings.
That to me is also one of the best places I want to go to and play at. Is inside that tunnel. I found my way to flank.
We'll be there shooting at you. You know, it's coming up with Serious Viking coming up in September.
I know Serious Viking's coming up real soon. Yeah. I cannot wait for that. It's 1 month away.
You see the numbers for that already? Holy smokes! The amount of people that are going to be there.
Yeah, it's
major setup too. I mean, good God.
It's going to be kind of interesting to see. All right, I don't know who stepped away, who that is. I had to step away for a minute to take some pics. Don't know who that was, but welcome back.
Take some pics of the motor tower I just made before I assembled the motor. Okay. That's running this display here. Ron's got an event coming up soon, too. It's going to be fun.
Yes, he does. The first week in October.
Yep, first week in October. Iron Dragon 2.
Yep. We already know you like to hang out with junkies, man. You get jealous.
So, what was your number 5 there, Virtue?
Bad Blood.
Oh, that's right. I took that from you. Don't know where Buck is, so we're just going to keep moving right along. Weiner, what was your number 5?
My number 5? Well, that was the other Big House Milsim one. The
Syndicate.
One. The Syndicate. Okay. Yeah, that was those were fun. The first one, I'll say I had fun being a hostage. You know,
that video of you. We have your commander.
You got your wiener.
Do you want him
It was
back?
lovely. It was a lovely time. Me and Weiner had a tea party in a room. We just hung
That's
out
it.
for a bit.
Yep. It was awesome. I had a blast there. I had a blast both times there. I'll come back up again for that one.
All
Do
right.
it again.
So I'm going to keep moving along because I don't know where Buck is. He's
Okay, that's fine.
getting tacos. That's why we have people to get our food and stuff for us. So number 4 for me is Revelations at Ballahack Airsoft. What number is that for you, Virtue?
That was 4.
Oh, good. We're on the same number. So I don't have a 6 for Virtue. What was your number 6? It was one of the ones we mentioned, I think.
Stonebreaker. You guys brought up Stonebreaker.
Yep, Stonebreaker. Yep, for 6. Yep. 4. I got a 4, but 4 is.
So when it comes down to like a badass RP style event, Revelations was fantastic.
Yep.
1,200 players on Swamp Snipers Field. All the different interaction levels that.
Oh, is that for Buck?
Yeah. So
I don't know if you were here.
You weren't here for this one.
Was I connected? Was I not there or something?
So I was talking about Pew Pew at Sea. So
Okay.
shameless plug time. We're talking about Pew Pew at Sea, talking about the dates for the event and all that. And I said it's a great thing for spouses. And he goes, I got to bring my wife. Ooh, bad date. It's exactly how he said it. Like, I got to bring my wife. My wife. Okay. Ooh, bad date. And I just lost it. It was freaking hilarious because
he clipped it and sent it to his wife.
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Hold on. I think I saw it. Hold on. Since he's back now.
I got it. It all makes sense now.
I'm gonna have some fun tonight.
No, you're not, because you're a bad date. Remember?
Eat
You're
my
a
ass.
bad
I was
date.
gonna say that because I've got ghost pepper hot sauce for my tacos.
Hey man, we didn't bring it up. Look at chat. Chat brought it up.
Yes, they did.
Oh, fuck right off. Damn it, Tyler. And I assume you played that clip for Weiner, so he's in the know.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah, he's getting ready to do it right now.
Of course he is.
You sat down when he started looking for it. So yeah, we're at number 4 now.
Yeah, we're number 4.
Hold on, I didn't share the audio. 1 second.
$15th. Is the wife going to come with you?
Yes,
September
wife.
12th.
Wife's coming. Oh, yeah. Terrible date.
Oh, it's
No,
even worse.
don't worry about it.
It's a bad date.
Disregard.
It's a terrible date.
Just
Your wife's a terrible date?
No.
Oh my God, I'm going to clip that.
15th.
Is the wife going to come with you?
Yes,
September
wife.
12th.
Wife's coming. Oh, yeah. Terrible date. No, don't worry about it. Disregard. Just
Too late.
Your wife's a terrible date?
No.
Oh my God, I'm going to clip that.
15th.
Is the wife going to come?
Yes,
September
wife.
12th.
Wife's coming. Oh, yeah. Terrible date.
It's so bad he had to play it 3 times.
Dude, it doesn't get any less funny.
It keeps getting funnier every time I see it.
You just see the immediate panic in my face.
Yeah, especially considering I'm like, what'd you say?
Your expression says it all. Like, wait a minute, the fuck do you just say, cunt?
Yeah, not
right.
getting dinner every time.
We're gonna keep bucking her on Judge Steve Harvey.
All right, so my number 4 is Revelations. At Ballahack in I think Chesapeake, Virginia, Ballahack Airsoft. It was a really awesome event. There was 1,200 players there. I brought a case of cola.
You're echoing.
Huh?
You're echoing, I think. Just slightly echoing.
Am I?
Not now.
I don't hear it.
Okay. So I brought a whole bunch of cola for Saturday, and there's like all these quests that you could do that you can earn these coins for. After you do that, you could do some other shenanigans. Like me personally, I was leaning up against a fence post, just pegging people in the ass.
Yes, you were pegging them.
Yes, I was pegging.
Clip it.
At least I didn't say my wife's a bad date. So,
but you did say you were pegging random strangers in the ass.
Hey, I'm from Florida. What do you expect? I wear a fucking Hawaiian shirt on a live stream. It's expected of me. So the role players there were pretty spot on, and you kept going through and having to find the items that they had and all that. It was really a spectacular event. The only downsides to this was one, you can't. They severely limited how much camping can happen on site. Two, the vaults were not clearly explained what they looked like or where they were, and how many items were needed to power a vault. Because we had enough items to power a vault 3 times over because of how much stuff we collected. But we were told bad information. So the only good thing would be is if they like explain that a little bit better, so it's more fun for players to get into it and all that. But the site was actually fantastic. Their end of day mass casualty event was fantastic. And then Sunday, I was just a meat vendor because I was giving away free brisket.
You burn it?
Yeah. Huh?
You didn't burn it?
And you can go right to hell, sir.
Come on, Weiner. Come on. It wasn't burnt. It was Cajun.
It was flaming hot. So it was absolutely fantastic of an event to go to. Now, I left early, so for all day Saturday, I'm sitting there just shooting people and taking people out from behind the safety of my meat. So nobody wanted to shoot at me or go against me while I was giving away free brisket.
Of course
But
not. You're paying them.
As soon as that brisket went away, oh my God, was it open season on Joker. So much so they put a bounty on me as I was leaving and had to fight my way to the exit. They never did collect the bounty. So that's my number 4. What was yours? Is number 4 too, right?
Yeah, mine was number 4 because, again, almost all the same things you said. The in-depth detail they put into the questing system and making everything the experience. So, like, day 1, I didn't fire a single shot, and I got my entire team into a bunker by bartering. Day 2, I set up so many deals on day 1 that on day 2, other teams were approaching us to get stuff done and offering us spots in their bunker. Because day 1 was absolutely hilarious because Smurf, she's in chat, found a bunch of things at thrift stores and flea markets to help me with bartering. And I had a Thanos glove that lights up. I bartered to one of the NPCs for all of the generators. And then I proceeded to hide all of the generators except for the one we needed. And people were like, man, we really need a generator. I was like, I think I know who's got someone, but it's going to be tough to get in there and get it. What are you going to do for my guys if we go in there and get it for you? They're like, I'll give you all a spot in the bunker. And I went, all right, cool. And we would go to the woods, wait 30 minutes, and then miraculously come out with this generator that we fought. It was hilarious. I don't know what he just did. But, like, it's one of those events where you can play, have a good time, and not actually have to take a shot. The second day, one of my guys had to take a shot because a gentleman refused to accept an offer he couldn't refuse. As I explained to him that he couldn't refuse his offer. He proceeded to flick me off and turn his back and walk away. I put my hand up, and all my guys lit him up in the back. The entire town was up in arms, and they're like aiming guns. I went, hey, Everybody heard me. I gave him options. I gave him choices. He could have walked away from this a rich man and unharmed. He chose to insult me. And like half of the guys were like, yeah, we saw, he's right. And the other half's like, he just shot that guy in cold blood. And I went, this is just a business deal, man. Calm down. One of my guys, Dan, caught my hand signal and stuck around and shot one guy in the back from the opposite side, which started a firefight between these two sides as me and my guys left. So shenanigans all over the place. The field has so many fun things you can screw around with. They have the plane that's out on the field. We had one kid set up his store inside the cockpit, and it was basically playing like he was a downed pilot that crashed there and was bartering for parts to repair his plane. This was not a thing that was set up by the staff or the admin or anything. He just decided to do it, and he was awesome. But
the shenanigans there are so much fun. It's not even funny.
But like you can bring. I brought in bubble wands and I bartered them as dinosaur samples. And the scientists were like, "We can use those." I was like, "Cool, give me stuff." Like the gameplay, it was a blast. Finding ways of cheesing some of the quests were hilarious, and I apparently earned a reputation because there's one. My favorite quest is the artist in the Wasteland. She has a quest chain. You have to bring her something you created based on the things you found in the Wasteland. Well, I was on a crunch to complete a side gig, and I asked this other player, I said, "Hey, do you want to be a piece of art?" And he went, "Absolutely." So we shot him. I pulled the pin on a grenade. All my grenades are full of glitter, by the way. I got cake glitter. So it's basically glittery sugar. I shoot the kid, pull the grenade, drop on him. He gets covered in gold glitter. I take him back to her, and I went, "I call it life in the Wasteland." And she was like, first time I saw her break character, she goes, "Well, that is completing the quest. He can't stay here all day." Because that was the thing she forgot to tell us, that the art has to go up on the wall. And I went, "That's a him problem, not a me problem." Can I have my reward? She had to get an admin. She actually ended up getting Swamp Sniper to come over, who went, "Did you agree to this?" to the kid. And the kid was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, give the guy his reward," and walks off.
So, some of you guys have heard this story before, but I don't know how much people watching it. But my favorite moment from Rev 11, which actually my patch was right here in front of me the entire time, was I was leaning against the fence post. Two large groups of players walked past each other. As soon as this pass, we'll call him Group A or Group 1, went past, I just did a hip shot and shot one of the guys right in his butt. He turns around and he goes, "Ow, hit." He puts his hand up, puts his dead rag on, and all the guys around him all of a sudden take their guns up and they start pointing around every way. 3 dudes were walking up and they stopped perfectly to block the line of sight from me from that group. So Group 2, I just did a quick hip shot, nailed the guy. He goes hit. So what happens is when they start looking around, the only thing they see is Group 1 with all their guns up and pointing in their direction. Next thing you know, back and forth. The rest of us were able to sit back and just watch and just go. And I'm sitting down, and then like there was some randoms there, and they go, "Did you just cause like a major firefight?" And I was like, "Yes, I did. Yes, I did." And I was like, they're like, "That's awesome. Remind me to never get on your bad side."
It's the thing about the event. There are players that show up and they don't even bring any guns and have a great time. I don't know if the tourists were there at 11, but the tourists were there at 10. These guys had no guns. They brought cameras. They walked around. They took photos. They posed with people like they were tourists. At the end of the night, during the mass casualty event, when the monsters come running out, this guy goes running towards them, jumps in the air, takes a selfie with the monster as it's about to eat him. But they were like, there'd be firefights going on, and they would just slide in and start taking photos in the middle of the firefight. They had fun. And I found out later what they were doing was they would wait for these things to end and then loot the corpses. Everybody ignored the tourist.
That's slick. That really is slick.
There's one guy that shows up as an inspector with a clipboard, and he will walk up to you and inspect your equipment and make a checklist, and then walk away. He's not affiliated with anything. What he was doing was he was making a checklist to see what in-game items you had, and then his buddies would come over and kill you.
All right, Buck, what's your number 4?
My number 4 has to go to Downfall at EMR. Really enjoy it. I haven't played in a few years, but it is still going on. Very fun game. Highly recommend.
All right. Weiner?
My number 4 would be Trench. No, shoot. That's number 3. Bone Strike would have been my number 4 in Vicksburg.
Okay.
And I should have said that earlier, so we don't have to talk about that one again. But that's
All
the one
right.
in Vicksburg.
My number 3 we've already discussed, which was the Stonebreaker / Iron Fury. One, so I'll pass on number 3. Virtue, what's your number 3?
So my number 3 is going to take us back out of the country. It's actually going to take us to Glasgow in Scotland. Once a year, they have World War II weekend. It's strict on what you can bring. So it's World War II kits, loadouts, guns, things like that. But it is an absolute blast when it comes to sportsmanlike conduct. Because you've got Germans, you've got guys in Russian kits, you've got guys in American kits, you've got the French resistance that shows up. And it is legit a blast. It takes place at Area 66, which actually has a castle and a trench line set up. And my highlight of the entire time we were playing there was I'm in the trench, and there's German players on the other side of the trench, and we were telling World War II bad jokes as we were trying to kill each other. The game runs into the night. They pop flares. There's fake, like the immersion level is there's fake, the rubberized fake barbed wire line, Constantina line going up, and you can try to get across it. But the sportsmanlike conduct there was above reproach from every player, no matter where you came from, because everybody that showed up was just there to have a good time. And dear God, some of the kits and some of the loadouts were just insane. This kid, he built a carbine kit for his high kappa that made it look like a Thompson gun. I was like, you could have just bought a Thompson gun. And he's like, yeah, but I did this instead.
To each their own.
To each their own. But like the level of dedication those guys show to their kit and their play style. And it was one of the first games in a very, very long time I played, but there was never any ambiguity about hit calling. Like everybody I shot at, most of the time I went, dude, I didn't hit you. And he'd be like, don't worry about it. I'll come back in a minute. It was insane. The French resistance players were hilarious because none of them actually spoke French. They just spoke with a bad French, and they knew it. My favorite is the guy that comes running in the room screaming, "Baguette!" But the actual French people that were there didn't take offense. They were just laughing with the rest of us. But yeah,
Baguette, champagne.
Yeah, it's Cresson 56 in Glasgow, Scotland. They do a couple other events there. The AO itself is awesome. You get to play in a castle, like an actual castle, which stealth does not exist in this castle. Every step you take just echoes. There's no grenades allowed in the castle anymore because they realized as grenades started getting more and more powerful, somebody will throw one on the 3rd floor and you will feel it downstairs. It's just stone walls and it just bounces. The staff was amazing. Like every squad of 10 players had an admin attached to them. So
that's awesome.
Like the staff was amazing. They were on point. I was worried about food and stuff because there was a trip to go get it. And when they call it quote unquote lunch break, we get there and restaurants from the town had showed up, set up tents and brought food.
Wow.
And I mean, I'm going to say this again. Everybody gives me crap about it. I'm going to preface this with I spent 12 years getting shot at for this country. So when I say food, our American player base has no concept of what I mean when I say these people brought food. Like it was like Thanksgiving dinner with your grandma. Like they brought food and it was cheap. And there's some players that for some reason didn't hit the currency exchange and they're like, all I got is like dollars. All I got is whatever it was. And literally they're like, don't worry about it here. You're hungry. It was It was a great environment. The bathrooms were porta potties, but they got pumped like twice a day.
Nice. And that's a World War II style event?
Yeah, it's called World War II Weekend. And they do it at Area 66 once a year. There's talk about them doing it more than once a year because it's one of their most popular events. But I showed up as an American GI because that's what I had available. And I think I was the only American in my squad. And it was a blast. I mean, even the German players like got into character, but you can tell they were just having fun with it. They weren't like, we've got some German role players and impressions here that just kind of take it too far. But these guys were just having a blast. They weren't taking themselves too seriously. It was almost like they were just cosplaying a Mel Brooks movie. So yeah, that's going to be my number 4 spot. World War II weekends at Area 66.
No, that's your number 3 spot.
Sorry, number 3 spot. Dude.
Buck, what's your 3?
My number 3 has to go to Tactical Airsoft Arena at Washington for their Halloween event, because that zombie game we talked about on the last episode. Oh my god. Sin is absolutely correct. It is wonderful. It is a wonderful event. If you guys are in the Washington, D.C. area, are looking for a good night, having some fun zombie games, please, please, please head out to that. It is straight up a blackout in the middle of an indoor arena with movable walls. And if you want to like get the shit scared out of you, have some fun.
Evidently, it's this weekend. All right, Weiner, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is another TCA event, Operation Trench Knife at Camp Shelby in Mississippi. Freaking awesome AO, awesome people.
Is it coming back?
My understanding, yes, it probably is coming back. I just know it's a tank training facility. Is pretty much what it was. I know the roads you have to go through to disappear into the woods. I mean, you can get lost out there, but they're tank trails for actual tanks. So I think one of the main reasons we have been back out there is because of the training going on out there. So it is a military facility, is actual Army base out there, and it was just a blast. I mean, it was huge. You had like two different mount facilities out there. Moss. I am not sponsored by TCA. Thank you very much.
Hey, look, he's not the only one talking about TCA events. My top 10, I have 4 TCA events.
Yeah, mine are 1, 2, 3. I got 5 or 6. I think 6 TCA, but that's okay. But anyways, Trench Knife was awesome. The first time I went out there, I couldn't play. I went out there just shortly after I broke my leg, so I went out there anyways and just had fun. I got to go into the actual command center where how all the cameras are set up, so you can see the firefights and stuff going on. It was actually kind of cool because I couldn't, I said, I couldn't play out there. But the second time, Trench Knife 2, I got to go back out there and got to play in the tunnels and the buildings and the mosques and the city, and it was just it's a great facility. So everybody get a chance to play out there if they have an event. If somebody has an event out there, go to Camp Shelby.
That's one of the AOs I really want to go to is Camp.
Yeah, that one's definitely worth it. My number 2 will be phenomenal. Also, very similar type setup.
All right. So speaking of number 2, my number 2. Here we go.
Get Buck's number 3.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, mine was Tactical Airsoft Arena's Halloween event.
Oh, okay.
My number 2 is Serious Viking.
Which one? The one at GTA or the one at Garden Center?
So the one I played at was at GTI. However,
Stu.
That's that. I'm putting that up there just for Sal.
Yeah,
2 hours and 15 minutes. I got to remember that. So then that way, when I send the link over to him, of like, hey man, TCA was on our top 10 list like 8 different times.
Yeah.
But Serious Viking, I was not there last year because I had to bow out. I had COVID. That was the reason why I couldn't go. And that was at the Guardian Center. But I'm going to Serious Viking this year, next month. So I'm really looking forward to that. By the way, I believe there are 5 green tickets left, and I think 30 tan tickets left for that event.
Yeah, it's gonna be huge.
It's going to be huge.
Lots of targets.
So, personally, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. The Serious Viking series is a little bit different than some of their other series that they had. It's kind of interesting with TCA how they switch up the feels of the event. Control boxes are pretty much the same, but they add more stuff to it to make each event feel different. And I think they had to get into that because for a while, the only place they could really run games because everything was shut down due to COVID or fire control or whatever, range control, was at GTI. So how do you have 3 series or 3 or 4 series at the same location by making it feel fresh every single time? That's when they came up with Iron Dagger and everything else, which is more of a 36-hour long event and everything else. So that one is so what they did was they sort of like what we've done at the prison, which was we come up with different game modes to play at there. The hotels last year were stupid. I heard about that. Luckily, I got my hotels already. So I'm set up my hotel rooms.
I do
too. But Serious Viking is one of the better events that they've gone on. They put a lot of effort into it, and it's going to be at the Guardian Center. So the downside to it is that the point of the vehicles that you're going to have there, they're open game. They're like almost free target things because they're really from when I was playing there. I didn't bring my truck on the field, but I'm looking around going, man, there's so many ambush points. It's not even funny.
The
So
windows of buildings, you didn't even look down on top of the.
yeah, I don't plan. I mean, I'll bring my truck. I'm driving my truck up there, obviously, but I don't plan to run my truck at all. I mean, if Green really needs it to use it or whatever, I won't have an issue with handing over the keys. But me personally, I'm not going to be vehicle bound at that AO. That's one of the few AOs where I will be boots on the ground, running through buildings, taking people out. Because that
in some cases, literally running through buildings.
Brainerd's on. Brainerd showed up.
About time, Brainerd. Jeez. So that is definitely my number 2 is Serious Viking. And plus, like I said, I don't think we can stress enough how strong that admin team is for TCA. When you go up, I've yet to have an argument with an admin there, even when I was given wrong information. Like one of the Stonebreaker, I believe, was the first time I ran a truck, and we were told one thing by the admin. We had the rules in our hands. We went out and talked to the admin, and the admin said, whatever you go out as is what you are. So if you go out as a transport, you're a transport. If you go out as a gun truck, you're a gun truck. Oh, yeah, that that was not the case. I got yelled at, and luckily the admin fessed up to it and said, no, all right, I told him some wrong information. He goes, you should read the rules. And I showed the rules. I was like, it's not clear. That's why I asked. But yeah, it was Serious Vikings going to be a really awesome event that you guys should go to, especially if you have the opportunity to go to Guardian Center. You should do it at least once to experience it, to see if it's your cup of tea. A lot of these AOs might not be people's cup of teas. That's fine, but you should try it at least once.
Stu.
Fired 40 fate rounds as well. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be bringing I still have some chalk rounds left over. I guess I have a couple of fate rounds still. But there's a certain technical that has my name on it that I'm going to be taking out. And I have that I have my pocket cannon. The little pistol.
Yeah, I got the same thing. Took you out one time. Got lucky with one shot one time on the bug.
Yeah.
At GTI for of all places.
I love the one where I came up on Bulldog. He couldn't get his gun up fast enough, and I'm like, shoot him, and he's like, fucking hit.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, good God. Next.
All right. Sin.
It's got to be Syndicate. As much as I hate to like self-gratify here,
we're going to talk about that one next.
Well,
Save
I'll
it,
wait.
'cause that's
All
that. Yeah, wait, because that's our glorified self-promotion there.
All right. Check your Facebook Messenger. I couldn't share.
I did. I
Someone named their
say
technical last face.
You saying that this would Papa needs for his car?
Mm-hmm. So Papa can finally drive a technical now.
What the hell?
Well,
Why is this listed as spam?
Who's?
I shared about Geigerlands to another page and sorry. I some of these rules that are coming up with Facebook and all that, but I'm showing it. Just give me a second there, Drew.
But yeah, so yeah, Syndicate's gonna be my number 2. I'm holding my number 1 tight. So somebody been coming for Papa to drive a technical.
Oh my God!
He's not here to defend himself.
I'm gonna send that to him.
Send it to him, yeah.
Someone named their technical ass face. All right, Buck. Your number 2 was
EMR's Operation Bad Blood.
All right, so passing you by Weiner. What was your number 2?
My number 2 is all-time favorite when I flew out to Texas with Doomsday, and they still do it out there, but they haven't had one in a couple of years. But I heard they more than likely will again. But it's called Operation Starburst at Fort Hood.
Starburst, yeah,
in Killeen, Texas. That was awesome because he went with a group of guys, and even Papa was there too. He actually went. Him and Dominic flew out with us. Pasco, Alex, Tiny, he went also, and the camaraderie there was awesome because we were from Florida and showing up in Texas with everybody. You parked in a field across from the AO. It's 3 separate mountain facilities, maybe more. I remember the big mosque fight. I remember the helicopter body, and then there was this town that was up around the side of the hill. It was a huge town with like a bunch of like apartment buildings, and the firefights there were insane. And I wish I could have spent more time in that part of it, but I didn't find out about that until day 2 because we were busy defending up near the mosque and stuff and trying to hold the mosque. But Starburst out at Fort Hood, actual training facility out there, and it was cool because you had the helicopters flying over, you had the AMRAPs, you had everything else driving around normal while they're still doing their training away from the facility we were at, the Army out there. So it was, definitely was fun. Definitely was fun. So that's my number 2, Starburst.
Nice. All right. My number 1 is some glorified self-promotion here. It has to be the Syndicate series. At the Big House Milsim, the Haunted Cresson Sanatorium in Cresson, Pennsylvania.
Awesome facility. Awesome ale.
That facility has everything for me. It's got a tunnel. It's got buildings that you could easily maneuver in and out of.
Ghosts.
Freaking haunted. There's great location that you get fired. There's only a couple points that are really bad for firefights, like in the building, bottom of building 5, the crossroads by the cereal room.
What was the building we got kicked out of?
One,
which you'll never see again.
That was awesome.
Oh, dude, I was just there when I went on vacation and saw what's still left over in that facility after they there's BBs everywhere, especially on the 3rd floor. Oh my God.
Dude, I went up there and inspect after the event. I could roller skate from one end of the hall to the other.
Yeah. I took pictures. There's like so many grenade fragments everywhere inside that place that we have
what
to
did you do, Weiner?
It wasn't what Weiner did.
It wasn't just me. I was up on the 2nd floor. So we leveled the 2nd floor. Well, I won't say leveled the 2nd. We had the firefights up on the 2nd floor.
So there was a bad decision that was made, not by me, because I was too busy packing to try to avoid the weather that was coming in. The snow, the stuff that this Floridian doesn't drive in. Left it up to Dylan to make a decision on where to have a thing. They decided to go into building 1 with 150 people in 3 stairwells.
No,
against
30 people against 2.
It was 150 people against. It was like 20 people. It was like 25 people. That between the Dark Horse
it
6
became
and
an uphill stairway brawl.
it was a Bushy Mountain experience all over again. The one thing that we always tried to fight against. When I found out what building they were going to use, I did try to say, "Hey, maybe we should go to building 5 and 6." No. This will be fine. I was like, I don't think so. So yeah, that room was not clean. We were never allowed back in there again. And really, we should be fighting on that first floor because
it was so memorable.
It was. I'm sure if you guys would have done it in building 5, you probably would have had the exact same experience.
Yeah, probably.
And it would have been more contained to at least that one building because we already had destruction and stuff there. What happened to building 1 never should have happened. It really never should have happened.
Did they just destroy the first floor? Is that what happened?
No, there was. Look, when I went there, so when we talk about the first floor, you have the basement, first floor, second
the first floor was the one that I understand was. I think that's why most of us were stationed upstairs because the first floor with the padding and stuff like that.
The tarp room, that they were fighting in. So when I got the call over the radio,
must be fighting each other because we were all upstairs.
I think there was. When I came in there and I was like, "What the hell are you doing in here? Get the hell out of this room!" And then I started yelling at people, like Dylan, like this was the stupidest idea ever. Why the hell are you all in here? This is the one room out of the entire built place that needs to be protected, and you guys are having firefights in here. Are you?
What happened was a bunch of guys who missed the brief, apparently left, showed up, heard there was something going on, grabbed their kit and ran up the hill. So they got into the building, they saw the other team and started shooting, not realizing we were on the same team for this thing.
Yeah, so you're going after us guys up on the second and third floor.
Yeah. Yep. And that's another part of the problem. Like if it was in building 4, 5, and 6, it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
If they kept it in 5 and 6, it would have been fine. But no.
So we'll do the same thing on Sunday, just in 4, 5, and 6.
The rest of the AO is freaking awesome.
The AO has a lot of great areas that you can go through. There's a lot of great flanking maneuvers. There's awesome ways that you can maneuver around. There's a lot of history there.
All that good stuff.
Yeah. The rule set. I mean, I'm not trying to pat. I mean, I think we did a great job with the rule set. Blackwater was a bit much for the players because there shouldn't have been that 4th faction. Just saying. Actually, technically, the 5th faction.
Well, you were your own faction. Don't forget.
No, it wasn't.
I was going to use your own faction.
I was technically a civilian. The prisoner rules worked out really great. People loved that aspect. Them trying to take Nikolai was probably some of my best experiences I had in Airsoft, where my fight back was absolutely epic. And the funniest thing ever is well, I only said that a few times.
Each time you got attacked.
Huh?
Each time you got attacked.
No, the only time I really said it was when somebody wrenched my shoulder. That's the only time I really said it. Because when they grabbed my shoulder to stop me from doing that, I was like, ow, no, stop. Because they literally tried to, because when I lifted up and then Bulldog had to jump on top of me, oh shit. Because all of a sudden I was like, screw this. I just lifted and I had 3 guys on my back and all of a sudden, I think that was like the first inclination that Bulldog had that I actually have strength. I might be a fat bastard, but I can lift. Or in the basement where they had like 6 guys on me, and then I did the same thing, and then 2 more had to jump on me. That it was absolutely fantastic. Some of the stuff that happens with that location, with that AO, the amount of energy that went into that, and the other fun stuff that happened with it. Like me going to McDonald's and having a bunch of fake drugs in my center console. On the center console, he's looking at me like, or on the dashboard, she's like, I was like, don't worry, it's fake.
Yeah, no, that from your side, that was hilarious. From my side, it wasn't so much because he calls me to tell me what just happened. And I didn't realize how loud my phone was. And I look up, and there's people staring at me. Like, don't worry about it. He has this thing all the time with drugs. And I continued on with the conversation I was having.
Now the cool thing is that you could camp out outside there. The camping was free. I mean, there was only porta potties. You're only 2 minutes away from town, where you're about 15 to 20 minutes away from good hotels, but at least good food was only about literally 5 minutes away. Like we raided Vito's 3 times.
Okay, hold on. I gotta say this. You say good food. I'm gonna say acceptable food.
You wait. Did you come with me to brick on the front or brick on the front where I had the freaking the pizza burger?
Yes. Oh
Okay.
God, that looked like diabetes waiting.
Oh my God, it was delicious.
Oh, it was so disturbing.
I was having this burger. I was like, all right, look, I don't know how good this is going to be. I bit into it. I was like, they actually take a burger, wrap it in pizza dough.
Hold on. That was not the sound you made, sir. You sounded like you had just had an orgasm when you took that first.
Oh my God.
Oh, it was delicious.
He's like, I looked up from my plate like, what the hell is he having?
Can I have some?
The expectation was it to be like this not great thing, right? When you think about the concept, they put this burger inside of pizza dough and they cook it all together. So all the juices and everything else are there. They season the burgers. They have some sauce that they put on it. Oh my God, it was delicious. It was absolutely delicious. So I think it was brick on the front.
Yeah, I eat poorly, but some of this man's food choices, I'm like, you're giving me heartburn.
I didn't get heartburn at all. That thing was not hot. It was actually like not spicy.
I don't even think you breathed while eating that thing.
It was great. So, hands down, number one AO that you should definitely go to is the Cresson Haunted Sanatorium. And we have Geigerlands coming up within 16 days. Hold on. Now's the time to do it. Where before you could camp out in the parking lot. Now you can camp out on the AO for this role play style event and all that. So,
do you like Ghost? Do you like hanging out with Ghost? Have you ever wanted to share a meal with Ghost? Boy, do we have the event for you.
Walking down that hallway where all the paint's peeling off the wall and the hair on the back of my neck started standing up.
No. That's nothing. So I think it was Syndicate. It was Syndicate 1. We're all there for setup, and there's this room in the basement that's got like netting and candles. And we called Joker on the radio because I'm like,
I was with you.
Oh, no. Who was it on the radio? We called somebody on the radio.
No, we were walking around because I was giving you guys the tour. And then we go inside that lower room because I showed you where Nikolai was going to be.
Oh, right. Yeah. But and this is there. And I'm like, this is unsafe and fucking creepy. Why would you set this up? And he's like, I didn't set this up.
No, what I exactly said was, as I was backing out, I said, that wasn't there yesterday. And we didn't set that up. Goodbye.
So we leave. That's what it was. I called over the radio and I was like, who the hell set this up? It's just unsafe. And the radio goes silent. And like everybody's like, we didn't set that up. So we go back down there to take it down and nobody can find it.
I knew where it was. I wasn't going near it. Somebody literally set up an altar down there, is what they did.
Out of the
Well, there was also the guy that was
Did Buck's ball just deflate?
I think it's there. So
I have risen.
There were some other awesome things that was there, like the one guy. I cannot find the video now, which is also creepy in itself. A guy posted a video from Syndicate 1 where it was at the very end of where the stairs are 6 that come down into the basement, and it was where the T-junction was. Somebody was shooting down into it you could see a silhouette on the side of the wall. They're shooting their tracers, and then that silhouette goes through, gets lighter, and the guy shoots through it. It's like, what the hell? I was like, in my video where we're going on the JTF mission, shadows move against the light. Like all the shadows are going this way, this shadow's going like that. Yeah, places for
it happened in the giant tunnel fight. It happened. I was like, yep, I'm on a nope right out of here.
Hands down, that's not my number one spot. The Syndicate series is absolutely fantastic. I don't even think it's going to continue. Next one is, I believe, the first weekend of April. April 4th through 6th, I believe. So yeah, that one's continuing.
I'll be on a cruise.
No, we won't. Oh, will you?
I will be. I have different.
Isn't that what the date is? I think that's what the date is.
Is it
I'll
April
check the
4th?
dates for you, Weiner. It's either the
Let's
first or
check.
second weekend of April.
God damn, make me look at my calendar now. I know I saved it. 2023.
So I don't like Scorched Earth will be just as fun, but I don't think it's going to hit that level of the Syndicate series because we just have so much cool shit that happens with the Syndicate series.
What? No, it's totally gonna hit that. It's gonna happen. Shut up, you.
Look, come to Scorched Earth. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun, but with the extra dynamic of 2 more factions that the admins can control, Syndicate is its own unique experience. By the way, Sin, you got something for your birthday. Where is it, sir?
In the mailroom where it's staying, because I ain't touching cursed objects. I watched Indiana Jones.
For those that don't know, I sent him a 4-pack of the Get Good.
About what?
The Get Good gaming inhalers that are supposed to increase your mental state and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Anyway, my number 1 goes to the series Conquest of Avalon. It takes place at a Renaissance festival in Texas. Staff that runs it is always amazing. They do their best to make sure everything goes smoothly, and I got to give them props to that because one year they got thrown a bunch of curveballs by the site owner at the last minute, and they adapted within 10 minutes, and the event kept rolling. It was gorgeous. But it's at a Renaissance festival, man. Like, my highlight of that entire event was fighting over the jousting arena.
For fuck's sakes.
Like, seriously, it's a strange place to play, but it's not your typical plywood structures or your buildings or your concrete bunkers. It's something you don't normally get to play at. The players that showed up to it were absolute ballers when it came to sportsmanship like conduct, because because of the site owner's curveballs, there was some no fire zones that were kind of like in the middle of the AO that really prohibitive for gameplay, for flow. But like every player, every time I got in that area, got into engagement, we all saw the sign, put up our guns, walked through it, got away, and then started shooting at each other. Like, there was never any moment of somebody wanting to be a douche and using that to their advantage. The bathrooms were nice because, again, it was a Renaissance festival. They actually had flushing toilets. There were some porta potties on the grounds, but nobody destroyed anything. Food was right there. Some of the food vendors for the festival actually opened up for us. They were there. So there's a photo somewhere buried in my Facebook of me holding a 249 and a turkey leg.
That's kind of awesome.
But yeah, right. It's one of those most immersive events. And like when it was first proposed to me, I was like, yeah, I'm not. I work at Renaissance festivals. I don't want to go play Airsoft at a Renaissance festival, you know. And the guys that put it on, like, here's the deal: we'll cover your ticket if you show up.
Sold.
I was like, all right, fine. I'm going to be in Texas anyway. And I showed up not expecting much. But by the end of the event, I was sad it was over.
That's one of the things I like when you're like, I don't know. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, this is awesome. You know, I had that with my first Wasteland game. Like when I went to the first Wasteland, I was not sure how I was going to like it. And then I got there, started playing. I was like, all right, this is actually kind of awesome. So
I mean, the overall event itself was freaking phenomenal. The one guy, oh my God, I wish I still had his information. This guy showed up in full pirate garb, and you guys have seen the flintlocks, right?
Yeah.
So the first generation of those that actually took the CO2 bulbs in the handle, he literally ran around with 4 of those on his chest and 2 in his hands. It was the most hilarious thing ever because they only actually got one shot, and then you actually had to hit it to reload it. So he would fire one off, drop it, pull out another one. And he's like talking smack like a pirate the entire time he's blasting away at people. It was hilarious.
All right, Buck, what's your number 1 event?
My number 1 has to go to Citadel. The year that I went was 2017. I believe they put it on a bit of a hiatus due to COVID. It was a Desert Fox event, my very first Desert Fox event, and I I very thoroughly enjoyed it. The Blue Tracker app and all that crap, the way they had it all set out was really fun, and it was very enjoyable. Don't bring out your main phone because you will get it shut out like I did, and that was not a good day. that was like the main down point of the day because I got like the back of my phone completely shattered, but my phone still worked, but I had to pay for it. But it was
Wait
fun.
a second.
It was fun.
Buck has more than one phone and said that his wife's a bad date.
He's a drug dealer or a gigolo.
I keep all my phones. I don't turn them in, man.
Mm-hmm.
I never get a good enough trade for them, so I kept them.
Yeah, sure. I believe you. Totally.
Yeah,
Sure, man. We all believe you.
One of them looks like a drug dealer's phone. I won't even bullshit. It's an old fucking Motorola Droid with a white OtterBox on it.
Did they even make OtterBoxes back then?
Yeah, it was one of the first ones they ever made. It was part of their commuter line.
Oh, God.
All right, Weiner.
My number one?
Your number one.
My number one will be my first Milsim event ever, and that was EMS at the Guardian Center, the Ironhorse 1.
Nice.
That was my number one. It's funny because I remember I went with 5 of the kids that we formed the original Team Punisher with. We went there, and Kratos was the squad lead, our squad lead or platoon lead, because we were a separate squad for the 5. It was just the 5 of us. But anyways, we had no clue what we were doing. We didn't know anything about the groups, the texting groups, the messaging groups. All that. We knew nothing about that. We show up. We finally find where we're supposed to be. The first day, we were completely lost. But it was the coolest AO ever with all the cars and everything was open and all the floors and stuff. Coolest AO ever. I lost 2 Thunderbees the first time there. I was like, learned never to use Thunderbees ever again. That second day, once we figured out what was going on, and we didn't even come with we didn't even know about the comms, radios and stuff like that. Once we figured out what was going on that second day, front line the whole day long, all day Sunday, till it ended. It was just that's why I keep going back there, paying to go back. So it's my favorite AO of all time.
It really is an awesome, unique AO that it has to be utilized the proper way, is the best way I could say. Right? There's so many places that I don't think utilize the AO AO particularly well. So you have to be able to know how to use that AO properly in order for it to really shine. If you can use it properly, the gameplay would be awesome. People have an awesome time, and you get this experience, the fullness that is the Guardian Center.
That's what you tell people the first time if they're going to the Guardian Center, hook up with a team that's been there before, or find anybody who's been there before, and just watch their tactics and stuff with the place.
So that's the top 10 list that we have. There's also some other events that are honorable mentions, like any like the John Liu, the Mayhem Mill, but unfortunately
Fire series, all that stuff. Yep.
Yeah, the Mayhem Mill series was absolutely fantastic at that location. Man, I wish that place was still open. It kind of sucked that they lost some of the machinery between 1 and 2. But I mean, those real world AOs really are something to be seen, something to experience. So if you have a chance to go to them, like an old mill, that's old textile plant that's been shut down, old mill, or a decommissioned prison, take up the opportunity.
Firestorm, were you? The Firestorm is not going to be First Strike.
Yeah, I was not at, because I was that was the same weekend as Bad Blood, so I'll be at First Strike for sure. So let's talk about something.
You're going to love that one. You'll love that one.
Yeah. Yep. So let's talk about some of these upcoming events and these locations and all that everybody's just going to fall in love with. So obviously the very next event that we're going to, that at least 2 of us are going to, Virtue and I, we're going to be going to the Cresson prison for Geigerlands. After that, it's going to be the Guardian Center for Serious Viking. Really looking forward to Serious Viking. Going back to the Guardian Center with TCA is going to be a hell of a lot of fun. In October, we have
beginning of October, the 1st.
Yeah, we have the first weekend of October. We're going to have Black Dragon Siege 2.
Is, Twin Dragons, not Twin Dragons, or yeah, Twin Dragons.
It's something like Twin Dragons. I'll be on the Dragon Legion for that one.
Yep.
The very next later on that same month is Swift Justice. I think it's Swift Justice 3 as well. I think it's Swift Justice 3. I only think it's the first Swift Justice, but so that one's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. November we have the Wasteland series.
Well, don't forget you already mentioned First Strike, right? In October.
Huh?
First Strike's in October.
Yes.
Yeah. So First Strike's like the weekend of the 20 something like 23rd. Or
the 21st, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then ours.
Then you're going to have yours, which is the same weekend as Scorched Earth.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
Like Outpost used to. Okay.
Somebody shut out the sprinkler system, huh?
Oh shoot.
That's what that's that code word there of for unforeseen circumstances. That's when it comes to indoor arenas, that's got to be like one of the biggest dangers that you might have, which is having to deal with
assholes.
Yeah,
dude, they've been open for less than a week at the new location.
They must have had sprinkler heads and somebody shot one out.
Hey, what's that one do?
Let's shoot that little crystal that's in there.
Well, it depends on how tall the roofs are. Right? If the roofs are only like 7-8 feet tall, it's not unfeasible that somebody can make the mistake and accidentally shoot up and take out one of those stupid things. Not that I'm like laughing at it, like saying haha, because I don't think it's
the only reason I looked into it is because I released an announcement and then somebody just messaged me asking what's going on. He said they had a fire. And I'm like, I think we had heard about a fire. So I contacted the actual owner directly and was like, hey, dude, you okay? What's going on? And that's the response I got back.
Oh, we're fine. Just had a sprinkler system issue. So that's and then we have Wasteland in November as well. So
Wasteland in November. I'm gonna try to make it, but Scorched Earth may be taking up all my extra free time, that I have copious amounts of.
And then of course we have coming at the beginning of the year, we're going to be having the Pew Pew at Sea. So some jackasses.
I'm on a boat.
Are you? Did you get your cabin yet?
I am literally probably going to get it within this week once I get back from Boston. I had to make a call to see how many people I was allowed to have in a room. Because as soon as my partners found out it was a cruise, they were like, "Who you taking?" I'm like, shit.
Yeah.
Well, shit.
I won't be able to put my deposit down until the final week available because I've got a lot of bills.
I mean, you ain't got a lot to worry about. I mean, you're going to be going by yourself, right? Because
September
is March, right? March.
Last day to pre-order.
Chat die on us or something?
I don't know. It's like chat's been kind of quiet for a while. I wonder if my shutdown actually affected it.
They have.
21,
25 was last.
That was from Brainerd. Let me go to the actual stream and see if people have been talking to us.
Probably.
Sorry, guys, if you've been talking, it hasn't been popping up to us. And
yep,
we're oblivious.
All right.
Come on.
All right, so Pew Pew at Sea is going to be March 3rd through the 6th for those of you that are looking to get in on it. The cabins are, so the prices I'm going to mention are going to be the cost for the cabin as a whole. So it's $792 per person, or $792 per cabin, which is $396 per person.
396.
All right, see if I can catch up on chat. Still got my ticket for November. Looking forward to going to the prison again.
So there is. That's all on.
Yeah, it's in there. Some's coming through, some's not. We talked about the weekend for April 14th because weekend MegaCon, second weekend is Easter. Yeah, I'm gonna have to time this so I'm down for MegaCon.
I have to get into MegaCon for when is MegaCon?
Smart reminded me she still has her ticket to Wasteland that I can use. Brainerd putting together my GoPro setup for this weekend.
So we aren't.
Tyler had to go wrestle a 7-year-old out of sister's bunk. Yeah, okay, man, whatever. I don't know about you wrestling 7-year-olds.
In a bunk bed.
Probably with his P90.
Virtue is so salty right now about P90s.
Dude, I got one in the mail that I need to work on because somebody thought it was funny to send it to me, and they paid up front.
I did not it.
No, so like I quote exorbitant prices for working on guns I don't really want to work on. So if they're willing to pay that much money, yeah, I'll go ahead and work on it because I can swallow a lot of grief for money. Stu apparently just pooped. Tyler, yeah, little bugger Scrappy got to use every advantage I can get. Pistol whipping a 7-year-old with a P90.
But yeah, if you guys are really looking for something unique to go through, looks like we're having some internet issues again.
Yeah, so the Facebook stuff is coming through to Restream, but the YouTube stuff's not, which is fucking weird.
Which is reversed to what we're used to.
And I go staticky.
All right.
So apparently I can't be here and on YouTube right now.
I can switch over. Give me a second.
Kids know how to use.
I can't do that. Kids know how to use my guns. Pausing that. Time for my G36 to shine.
Where's the paint?
Hey, I found one for found one for Virtue. He just didn't respond to me. So yeah, I saw that. Smurf. MegaCon's weekend of April 1st. So between the cruise and that, you have a full month there.
Watch, the next time they put up a pink G36 or bad blood raffles, Sin's going to be the one to get
it. Let's see here. All right. So yeah, if you guys are looking forward to that, check out Pew Pew at Sea on Facebook, the group page. I'll go ahead and link that now.
You should also probably list the deadline on the Facebook page of when we have till.
Since we're done with all that and stuff, I was going to put this out there. If you ever feel like you can't tech or work on your guns yourself, and you need a emotional boost, go onto the Reddit tech forums for Airsoft. You'll see a level of stupid that is unparalleled in the world, and it will make you feel like a This guy lubed his gun with Vaseline. Wants to know if I can fix it.
Why? I put Crisco in the game. Does it work still?
or the one that you saw inside of the Screech Dragon chat, right? The guy that decided to use freaking Bondo or whatever, or whatever the hell that was, Loctite to keep the freaking compensator on.
Oh god, yeah, he epoxied. He used basically JB Weld industrial strength to put his compensator on. Oh,
JB Weld. That's right. It was JB Weld. Tinker's like a bunch of boiling water and a lot of elbow grease later. Mostly because I couldn't. So like, Tinker could not put a tracer on his guns, on his pistol, so you can't really see that the shots are coming in, which would have been great if, like, there was a couple times where he comes running in behind people and he's shooting, and you can't tell because you just can't see the shots, and it's like, oh man, that sucks. So. Can we collectively pay for that Vaseline gentleman to get his gun across the pond to negative airsoft? Who is negative airsoft?
you don't know negative airsoft?
No.
He's a tech that has a YouTube channel, and he is. The things I say to you in private about some of the stuff I get to start working on are polite and proper compared to the things that come out of this guy's mouth. He's an amazing tech. Don't get me wrong. It's just if you send him something that's basically full of stupid, he will put you on the channel and explain to you why you're an idiot.
What the hell, Brainerd?
Oh god, what did Brainerd do?
I'll show you. Oh god. Shit. Hold on. Brainerd.
Bologna is just dog pancakes.
I hate that so much.
What in the...
What the hell is that?
He's got a run cam, forward mounted, and then he's got... Is that a GoPro?
That's a Hero Max. That's
Why?
the 360.
You've already got the run cam up front. What the hell's the point of that?
Oh, it's the 360. Over the shoulder or on the gun? Over the shoulder. Don't put it on the gun, man. There's going to be too much movement and shit.
You're going to get somebody vertigo sickness, dude.
I think that's already going to happen. So with that being said, I think our top 10 list is actually pretty solid. I hope you guys agree, or just I hope you guys agree with it. If not, hopefully you guys can see something that you haven't seen before and you want to go there. First video search was rubber cement as a lubricant. Looks promising from Stu. So with that being said, guys, we're back. Obviously, we had a vacation last week, so sorry. Tune in tomorrow at 8:00 where we're going to be having another live stream where we talk all about the events at the Cresson prison coming up. So we're going to talk a lot about Scorched Earth, and we're going to talk about Geigerlands. And then, of course, anything that happened if anything that happens tomorrow will be showcased on Thursday. So until next time, if you haven't done it already, please smash that follow button, like button. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Always at Players Wanted. So I'm Joker for Players Wanted. With me is the man with a mohawk, the king of the high kappas, Virtue from Sinistar Customs. Down below, it's not a party till the Weiner comes out. Weiner from ATE Airsoft. And it's Buck. Until next time, may your BBs fly true and your opponents call your hit. Good.